Hi everyone, I'm Lucy from GameSpot. I'm joined by Timur and Michael.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
And welcome to day one of GameSpot's Play for All event. So before we get into what Play for All is and speak more to, the reveals and stuff coming up over the next 6 weeks, we wanted to take a moment to discuss the awful things that have been happening recently. And we want to kind of get this stream off on the foot that we support Black Lives Matter. We absolutely condone and condemn any kind of racism across the world. And what we've been seeing over the last weekend has been just awful. And we want to do what we can to help.
Yeah, unequivocally, GameSpot supports Black Lives Matter and everything that it fights for and in opposition of. We are in opposition of the systematic racism that Black people face every single day, day in, day out. We stand alongside our brothers and sisters and condemn every form of discrimination and every act of violence in the Black community. We as GameSpot we have a responsibility to use our voice within gaming to draw focus to the injustices that are happening, and we want to do that as much as possible from this point on going forward. Originally, we talked about Play for All as being for a COVID-19 relief effort to raise money for frontline healthcare workers all over the world. But in light of the senseless murder of George Floyd and the events that have followed, we can't in good faith act to support one cause while another desperate struggle happens. Like you guys, our heart breaks for George Floyd and his family, and our blood boils when we see these daily injustices that Black people face. The community as a large, our friends, our family, our colleagues, every single person. And I think as a team, we came together and we knew that our souls were aching to do something, to try and stand up and do something, to do it for George Floyd, to do it for the many other people, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDowell, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice. There's so many names that we can and can't name. There's so many, it's impossible. But for everyone that has suffered and for the people that might suffer again and will suffer, that if we don't support them, we want to do something. And that's what this was built on. Play for All was built on bringing a community together and leveraging our passion and the solidarity we have as a community in gaming to benefit those in needs. And right now, Black people are in need more than most. They are the most affected by COVID-19, and now the daily injustices that they face are ever more apparent. So we want to use the opportunity right now and the voice we have and our platform to raise money and awareness for Black Lives Matter, as well as direct relief.
Yeah, so you'll notice on the screen right now we have two URLs. One goes to the Black Lives Matter donate page and one goes to our Tiltify for COVID relief. Please give generously. They're both incredible causes, but we knew we had to do something.
Yeah, and Michael.
I'm happy that GameSpot has been able to move so quickly with this thing, because we put a lot of time and effort to make Play for All happen, and then so for us to make the move so fast, I'm happy that I can be a part of that. But I think this moment requires us to ask a lot of tough questions to ourselves. All right, if you look at this and then you feel some sort of hesitancy about us supporting Black Lives Matter, what I'm asking you to stop for a moment, ask yourself why that is, and then do some research. All right, because there are things happening, like we see it on the news, we see people with their takes on the matter, but the root of the problem is the injustices that Black people face, and we need to acknowledge that. All right, and these times are tough for a lot of people, especially financially, but the least we can do is offer our financial support and our actual support in our hearts for a movement like this. So that's why we're asking you to support Black Lives Matter, an organized movement for Black people. But another thing to keep in mind is that no justice, no peace. The reason why you hear these chants is because there are injustices every day, not just the things that you see on camera. All right, we're seeing a lot of brutal things happening caught on camera. So imagine the things that happen off camera, all right, and that have been happening for years and years and years. And I say that to contextualize why we are asking you to support, why we are supporting Black Lives Matter. And in supporting them is a fight against police brutality. You know, I think a lot of the conversations that we have centers around that. When Black people receive, when they get their justice, everyone does. And I think this is a lot of what you hear in response to, you know, all lives won't matter until Black Lives Matter. So what we need to do is support Black Lives Matter. And that's what we're doing here. We're trying our best to do that. And like, these are conversations that we're going to have, not just now, but throughout the rest of our time until there is actual justice. So yeah, I think that it's I'm happy that all of you out there can join us, and I hope that you can support us. And like I said, if you are in any way confused, if you're not sure how to feel or think, stop yourself, ask yourself questions, and do the research. All right. That's the least I can ask you to do. And then, so with that, you know, we play video games for enjoyment, right? We have fun, and you know, this is how we relieve ourselves of the stresses of the day, or we dive into deep worlds. And it's a very exciting time for, like, during this time, we usually expect E3, which is why we're kind of doing this. But as GameSpot, if we are going to put the time and effort to ask for donations, ask for support in some sort of way, this is what we need to be doing. All right. So I hope all of you can join us in doing so.
It's also important to know that none of us are Black. We truly cannot put into words the things that people who are go through on a daily basis. All we can do is look at what we see and hope that we can guide people to helping in some regards. Again, we'll say none of us are Black. We do not have even the smallest inclination of what it is like to face that. But what we can do, and what we can pledge GameSpot to doing, is using the platform we have within gaming, a big one, a loud voice within gaming, to try and push people to the right places, to learn, to educate, to support. And that's what we want to do. And right now, it is so difficult to talk about video games. And doing so, playing them feels at odds with everything happening around the world. And we sat down as not as a website, a team of, you know, people who write and work in website. We sat down as people and we talked about, how can we do this? How can we talk about video games while all this is happening? And the answer is, there really isn't an easy way to do it. It's close to impossible. It doesn't feel right. But what we can do is, if we are going to do this, let's use the voice GameSpot has to push people to the right places. Let's try and amplify the right voices that can help guide, and that can help educate, and that can help raise money to support the Black Lives Matter movement. And then on top of that, to support, you know, the ongoing efforts to end this and injustice that are happening every day, to address the systemic racism within our society. And we hope that you know that our decision to continue talking about games, to continue playing games, it's not one that we have done lightly. We don't 100% feel great about doing this, but at the same time, it would be worse if we just shut it all down, because it wouldn't be worse. It would be a missed opportunity for us not to take the platform we have and put it to a good use. We could, in some small way, provide some small amount of monetary support. We could help someone click a link that teaches them and changes their thinking on this. And ultimately, that's what we want to do. We want to make some sort of difference. And we want to try and give you the opportunity to do the same. And you can do that by donating using the link that we've got on screen. But you can just go anywhere and find alternative ways to do it. There is a George Floyd GoFundMe. The Minnesota Freedom Fund.org/donate. You can go there. There are, change.org petitions. You can find resources readily to help you focus your efforts and make some sort of difference. And ultimately, that's what all we want to do right now. The gaming is a part of it. The things that we'll do is a part of it. But it's also a way for us to channel our passions, to channel the community that we have into something that could help in some small way.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, none of us are black, but we want to use our platform and we want to help in every and all way that we can. Like, we can't keep, like, this can't just go on, and we have to do something. And so we implore you, please check the links below. Please donate to Black Lives Matter if you can. If you're unable to right now, they have a ton of really informative links that you can go and educate yourself on the cause, because you don't have to be an overt racist to be racist. Like, it's so many levels of the way that people are oppressed through tons of different means, psychologically, through jobs, through society. Like, we all need to be educating ourselves and helping break these patterns and put an end to racism and help people as we can. So that's why we implore you, please check the links below. It's really difficult to segue from this, because this is, and I'm not trying to, but I'm like, what we'll be doing in the coming weeks, we're going to be putting on a load of charity fundraising things. We're going to be doing streams daily, and we would love you to tune in and be a part of the conversation and donate money. So I guess,
if you can donate, please do. If you can't, amplify the people, the voices in the community that are doing their best to try and change this sad state of affairs that everyone is in. You try and have some empathy for the black communities and the black people that go unheard daily. We will do our best to give you charity streams and forms of entertainment that uplift. But at the same time, please remember, there are people out there who don't have the option to tune in. Watching a video game stream isn't going to help them. What will help them is you donating some money or sharing a link and making it more visible what they suffer on a daily basis. It might not help immediately, but it could help in the long term. And it's crucial that we do that. It's crucial that everyone takes this opportunity to do that.
Yeah. If I could add just a few other things about, we obviously we want to raise money for BLM, but it's also your duty to continue the conversations further, to internalize the things that you learn through this, through reading about Black Lives Matter, through following the news. And I think that, understanding what systemic racism is, it's not just people, like Lucy said, it's not just people being outwardly racist. There are systems in place that are inherently biased against Black people, such as the travesties that we see with abuse of power in law enforcement. Those are things that BLM are fighting against. They're actively putting time and effort, their hearts and souls, into fighting against and changing, because financial support is core to letting us make a difference So that's why these donations matter. And Black Lives Matter being an organized movement, that's important to support. But also you need to take these conversations to the people that you know. All right. And if you understand this, and if you understand this conversation, then I encourage you to carry it on in your everyday life, you know. And as Timur said, like, Timur and I are non-Black people of color, so it's important for us to be like, our people have faced injustices too, and I think we need to have a conversation with our communities, with my family. For me, I need to talk to Asian Americans, to Filipinos, about how this is our fight too. All right. We need to come out in support of Black people. And I think that I mean, obviously white people need to come out and to do their part and acknowledge that they have privilege. All right. That is a very big conversation to have, is what,
and it's hard for a lot of people to recognize that privilege, but it's so important, and you need to be having those difficult conversations, not only with yourself but with your immediate friends and family, and challenge the perception of your place in the world and other people's place in the world. And a lot of the literature that's been shared around right now that's super important to read is kind of recognizing that privilege. And I'm a white person, I know that I have privilege, and I think, speaking for myself, I've been quiet on this for too long, and that's not being an ally, that's not helping anyone. So on a personal level, and, you know, working at GameSpot, we're doing something, we're using the platform that we've been given to hopefully help out.
It's the same, like Michael said, we're not Black people, we are people of color. Again, as I said before, I cannot begin to understand the injustices that Black people face. But now more than ever, it's apparent that everyone's voices need to be louder. If not for ourselves, you have Black friends, you have Black colleagues, you live in communities with Black people, and you know and love them. You owe it. It's your responsibility to stand up, to create the world that they can live in, that you can live in, that your family can live in, and their family can live in together. And the only way you can do that is by standing up for someone else, to outstretching a hand to someone else in need. And Black people are in need right now. And we talked about this entire time, Play for All was designed and created and put together from the GameSpot staff with love and a genuine desire to do something to help people who are suffering through COVID-19, healthcare workers. Black people are disproportionately affected by COVID-19. And it might be tricky for you to, you know, try and create distinctions and that kind of stuff, but it doesn't need to be. The communities that are facing social injustice and systemic racism are also being hit hard by COVID. Please open your hearts and open your minds to both, you know, let Black Lives Matter guide you, and let love guide the way you behave now.
Yeah. So we just wanted to start Play for All with that message, and we hope that it resonates with you and that you'll consider visiting the links below. They're on screen right now. Donate money if you can, and if you can't, please amplify Black voices. Please spread the word as to what Black Lives Matter are doing and help out in other ways. So that's
we're gonna continue. We have programming, you know, for the next few weeks ready, and we have a lot of fun things coming, and we want you to keep in mind that when you're doing this, like, please donate. There's people who don't have the opportunity to enjoy what we have in the same way that you can. Please reach out. Following this, we're going to have an interview with Tim Sweeney and Kim Library of Epic Games, and we're going to do our best. That interview was created, I conducted it before the events of the weekend. It happened last week, and there's no mention of it in there, it's because that happened, last week, and if I could, I would have said it there, but I have an intro in it, and it doesn't, and I feel weird about it not having that. But we'll do our best to, at every opportunity, before pre-shows and during streams, to mention Black Lives Matter, mention the COVID relief efforts as much as possible. So when you are watching this, whether we're saying it or not, please do your best to spread the word. All of this money is going to charity. We're not taking anything out of this. This doesn't benefit GameSpot monetarily in any way. All of it is going to charitable causes. So please do what you can.
So in this week alone, we've got Alana Pierce, we have MinMax, and so we'll have folks from Easy Allies and Game Ranks
Jesus on Friday.
Jesus Histos is doing a Bloodborne speed run. So these are just some of the things. This is just week one that we've planned. So there's plenty of different things that we hope you'll enjoy and that you can drop in on. If a Let's Play isn't your thing, then maybe you'll join in for a speed run or something. So we try to cater for as many tastes as possible. And we really hope you'll join and donate some money.
Yeah, so after this, we're going to have the Tim Sweeney interview. Let's be honest, it's Unreal Engine. There's a lot to get out of it, but it's also kind of like there's nothing new to talk about. So we elaborated on some of the things that Tim and Kim talked about with the interview during the Game Fest stuff with Jeff Keighley. I asked them about the Wendy's versus Popeyes debate that was happening afterwards. We tried to get fun with it. I hope you tune in and watch. It is slightly more lighthearted than you might expect from the CEO and CTO of Epic Games. And then after that, we're going to be joining a few folks from the Giant Bomb team, Abby, Ben, and Vinny, for a board game stream. And we'll be doing that for a couple of hours, and we're going to see what happens there. It'll be myself and Michael Hyam joining from the GameSpot side. And then that's Friday, that's the Monday of Play for All, pretty much. And then, for the rest of the week, you'll see that, as Lucy said, MinMax gaming trivia. It's going to be fun and hilarious. We've been talking to Ben about it and listening to his idea, and it sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, 1X. We did tell them. We told them, Ben Hansen, if you're watching this, we're sorry. We told them. And then after that, we have Alana Pierce coming in. I'm not actually sure what Alana's doing, but I'm sure whatever it is, it's going to be amazing.
I think Alana and I are going to play some games. I was chatting to her about it on the weekend. But Alana actually over the weekend herself did an amazing stream.
Yes.
I think she raised like over $50,000 for Black Lives Matter. She got like Jacksepticeye in. So that's great. So we hope that, we'll get money donated on our streams too. I think we're going to just play some chill games. I need to email her.
And then we have, like I said earlier, Jesus, other than June 4th, the big one, Sony's PS5 event, which falls on top of another awesome charity event that we had planned, but we're going to find a new spot for that, but it's going to be awesome. It will involve Abu Bakr Salim and Alex Wilton Reagan, who you might know as Bayek and Aya from Assassin's Creed Origins. We're going to find a new spot for those folks because it's really cool what they wanted to do. But that day will be devoted to PlayStation coverage. We're going to have a pre-show, post-show as well. We'll have analysis of everything that's shown, so you can expect the same kind of treatment that we would give to E3 content on that day. And then the Friday, we're going to finish things up with Jesus Histos, which, if you know anything about speedrunning, you'll know he's the best in the business when it comes to Bloodborne. He's the blood god of Bloodborne. He's done many, many amazing streams. The thing I love about his streams are they don't always go to plan. It's not perfect, speed running, but he always runs with it. He has fun with it. He creates narratives within the speed run itself that are fantastic. And Bloodborne is one of the best. he loves ladders. He's got a fantastic beard, and yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be on it. Me and Jake Decker are gonna be his peanut gallery, trying not to ruin his flow, but we'll be hanging out and just chatting away while he does his thing, and we hope that you can tune in for that. Again, as we said earlier, it feels weird to be playing games and trying to do this stuff while the world around us is going through what it is, but we hope that by doing this and continuing to carry on with these charity streams and event coverage, that we can amplify the right voices. And we hope that while you're watching, you take the opportunity to donate if you can. If you can't, share those voices, amplify the voices who are able to educate and tell people about what's going on, and just keep it in your heart and keep it in your mind that Black Lives Matter and people need help out there.
I want to take a little bit of time to kind of wrap both understanding Black justice and gaming in a way that I think that, looking at what we're doing, I think we can also acknowledge that we should, moving forward or at any time, all the time, we should be amplifying not just people of color, but specifically Black voices. And in the gaming space, there are a lot of Black people. All right. Gaming touches everyone, obviously. There are plenty of Black streamers, plenty of Black influencers, Black journalists out there. And you should all be following them, whether it's on Twitter or keeping up with their work, because again, donations are so appreciated for the movement. But to continue understanding what this is, I think that you also, like, if you care about gaming, you should be following these people. I'll just name it later. There are so many that I can name, but just off the top of the brain, I'm good friends with Khalif Adams at Spawn on Me, Blessing Adeoyo Jr. At Kind of Funny. Tanya DePass is an incredible speaker who's at conventions and always educating people just through her conversations and through what she does at conventions. All right. And it's very important to listen to Black women. All right. And there are plenty of them in the gaming spaces. All right. And there's a lot of other folks who are writers. On staff, I think you should pay attention to Jordan Ramey, who's on our staff, and Alessandro Filari, who's on our staff. Greg Thomas is an incredible video producer for GameSpot Universe. And there are a lot of folks out there, like I said. And yeah, you seek them out, follow them, because they love gaming too. They'll cover gaming just the way anyone else would, but they will put their voices into it, and you will learn a broader perspective as it relates to gaming.
And just quickly, Kind of Funny, our friends there, Blessing is heading up a week of coverage, having Black voices on there. So when we're not streaming, or you don't have to pick and choose. It doesn't make a difference to us. If you want to go and watch the Kind of Funny stuff, please do that. They are doing fantastic work, putting Blessing and various other Black voices front and center to educate us. So please feel free to go there and watch that stuff too.
Yeah, support and amplify Black voices, and please donate if you can, but also just educate yourself on what's going on. And I think, we're all appalled by what's been happening, and we want to do what we can to help. So we hope that you'll join us on this journey. We're going to be kicking off very soon with the Tim Sweeney interview. Don't forget to come back at the end. Tam and Michael will be playing video game. Well, what are you playing? It's like a tabletop sim.
It should be Tabletop Simulator. I think it's called Murder in Hong Kong. That's what we tested. But we'll see what happens. Vinny does this. You know how everyone knows how Vinny is. Vinny does wild things. So we could get in there and he's like, we're all playing Scrabble now. Who knows?
Hey, don't knock Scrabble on tabletop sim. We did that a couple of weeks ago. So we had nothing else going on. But we wanted to say thank you to the people who've already been donating. Thank you for the people who are, hopping in the chat and taking something away from this. we felt like it was really important to start with this message, and it's something we're going to be carrying on throughout the entirety of Play for All. We're going to be talking about it and beyond. So thank you for joining us, and any closing words from you guys?
No, Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
All right. Well, in that case, I think it's time to go over to the first big interview of Play for All. We've got Tim Sweeney and Tam, what was the other guy's name?
Kim Library.
Kim Library from
Tim
Epic
and Kim.
Games. Tim and Kim. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Tim and Kim from Epic Games to talk about the new Unreal Engine and the future of gaming. And don't forget, Games with Giant Bomb when we come back.
Yeah. You're watching day one of GameSpot's Play for All event, and it is my great pleasure to be joined by Tim Sweeney and Kim Library of Epic Games. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Fantastic. Obviously, you guys have had quite a few weeks. You unveiled Unreal Engine 5 and talked about the future of, the engine that kind of powers much of the video game industry. So I think we want to dive in quickly into the really important stuff. And obviously, the most important thing from your recent revelation were Tim Sweeney had, for some reason, a plasma ball in the background of his interview. Tim, can you tell us about the story behind the plasma ball, please?
Sure. Well, this is your world exclusive. So we're preparing for a Jeff Keighley show, and realized that it was going to be filmed, and so the mess that was behind me in my office needed to be cleaned up. So I was running around cleaning up the office. I knocked over my Diet Coke, which I always have with me, and so I had this giant spill of Diet Coke there, and we were about to begin filming in like 30 seconds. So I grabbed the nearest object, which was this plasma ball. It came from Spencer's at the mall, and it was covering up the Diet Coke spill, and nobody was the wiser. In fact, there's this wild conspiracy theory about what it was meant to symbolize.
For the record, does it symbolize anything about the future of Fortnite or Unreal Engine 5?
No, no, not.
I mean, you would say that, wouldn't you? But so.
Well, but the way we approach Fortnite, it's the work of an awesome creative team. I last designed a game myself in 1992.
The other thing that people want to know is, are you a Popeyes or a Wendy's person?
Popeyes, always.
Excellent.
Sometimes Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Chicken is very good too.
Kim, what's your restaurant of choice?
Oh my goodness, my restaurant of choice. Well, in terms of fast food restaurants, unfortunately I can't get it here, but it will be a little cheeky Nando's every so often.
Nando's, yes. You can't get rid of the Brit in you. Cheeky Nando's.
my accent may have mutated over the last 20 years, but I still like a bit of Nando's when I go home.
Fantastic. We're on the cusp of a generational transition. You've unveiled new technology that will push gaming forward and various other mediums. Taking a slightly retrospective look, what has been your key takeaways from the generation that was? What do you think that we, as an industry, as developers yourself and people who are behind, engines and various other things to do with gaming, what do we do good and what do you think we could do better?
Yeah, with this generation, we pushed a lot of things to the limit. A lot of amazing lighting and rendering technology has emerged here. We've been able to do some pretty impressive open world games with big scenes. Fortnite with 100 players in a massive, multiplayer game, and some amount of dynamic lighting. But we've really run up against a brick wall in terms of achieving absolute photorealism. And so it's been an interesting learning process. We just kind of got to the door of photorealism, but couldn't quite get in. But at the same time, this is the console generation when Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo all finally came together and opened up cross-platform play. And we saw gaming emerge as a social phenomena in this generation, where Fortnite and Rocket League, now Call of Duty, and lots of other games are connecting all of the different players across all of the platforms in a single live game environment with all of their friends. And that's been a really great boon for the industry.
I think this generation has some really great storytelling in video games. I think that the division between films and games as being good storytelling mediums is it's been whittled away a lot in this generation. And I think this phenomenon that you can go to a virtual world and hang out with your friends and do cool things that are different every night is something that I think that the games industry can be really, really proud of. That we've made a destination for people to have entertainment that isn't in normal physical spaces. And obviously, during the situation we're in right now with COVID-19, games have brought people together. People across the whole planet can interact in ways they would do if they were in the same space, but within a virtual world. So I think the big multiplayer social experiences is probably one of the most exciting parts of the last generation.
For sure. I think one of the interesting things, or perhaps something that's being lost in translation, or it perhaps isn't clear to people, is when you revealed the engine, a lot of it was about triangles, for example, and photorealism. But I think what people might not have as good a grasp on is like the applicability of Unreal Engine beyond photorealism. Obviously, you can take that engine and create all kinds of various styles. Like, can you talk a bit about how it can be used within gaming, not just for photorealism, but how it empowers a variety of our art styles and a variety of experiences?
Making a great world, environment, characters is not, photorealism doesn't have to be part of that. What matters is detail and richness and believability and plausibility of the environment you're in. So, the techniques that we use for photorealism also apply, very, very well to completely stylized environments. In fact, when I used to work in the movie business, I did a lot of movies with the Wachowskis, and we did one movie called Speed Racer. And Speed Racer is founded completely on the principles of photorealistic rendering, but is made to look like nothing you've ever seen before. Mm-hmm. And I think that, the cool thing with more believable lighting, richer, more detailed geometry means that people can just believe a place is an actual place they could visit. It helps the brain understand where they are. But the other cool side effect of having a system that is not only just detailed but also has dynamic lighting, it means that environments can be completely dynamic. Things can change. The cause and effect can happen in games. We all play these big, massive games, and you walk past the same place. It doesn't really change. It's pretty static. Most gaming worlds right now sort of are built on this, build as detailed a thing as you can, and it's quite static, and it can't change over time. It's hard to incorporate user-generated content. With this technology, it means that worlds can grow and evolve, can be a completely different thing from one day to the next. And I think that's going to open new gameplay mechanisms that we haven't been able to do in the past. So I think it's a pretty exciting time for just experimenting with totally new ideas.
You guys were very effusive about the capabilities of the PlayStation 5 and the time following. There were a lot of questions around what that means for Series X and Microsoft. And can you talk a bit about the dynamic and the relationship between UE5 and Xbox Series X? I know, Kim, earlier you mentioned that if we weren't looking at this Fantasy Kingdom behind you, we would see both an Xbox and a PS4 controller behind you. Do you want to put those conspiracies to rest?
Oh, yeah, sure. The nanite and the lumen technology is built to run on, next generation consoles and high-end PC, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and, at least the high-end NVIDIA and AMD GPUs, and support content that can scale down to, all lower-end platforms. We're really closely partnered with Sony on that demo. We literally had been talking to them for, it must have been 3 or 4 or 5 years about not just graphics, because obviously we talk about graphics, but also storage architecture and all the supporting systems that are needed to build next generation games that have vast amounts of visual detail and need to bring in, detail every frame at a very high frame rate and a very high level of fidelity. The focus of that was on the PlayStation 5 hardware it was running on. We support all of the platforms. Both Sony and Microsoft first-party developers are using Unreal Engine for projects. You've seen some ship. They're really awesome, and more coming in the future. It was just the culmination of a really awesome partnership that had been going on for a very long time.
No conspiracy then, is that what you're saying?
No conspiracy. We love all of our children. But,
yeah. And we have a very close relationship with many of the Microsoft studios that are awesome Unreal Engine users, and I think the next generation is going to be amazing for all gamers, regardless of what platform you want to choose. So, and our engine will run well on all of them. One
of the things that you mentioned a few times in the interview with Jeff Keighley, and also a few times today, is the kind of relationship with Hollywood and cinema and that kind of stuff. Can you talk about what going beyond just gaming and reaching into Hollywood and other forms of entertainment and media, what does that mean for you? And how do you think that will benefit games as a whole?
For quite a while, the core tools that we use to make assets for games and movies have been pretty similar. There was always been this extra stage of making normal maps and low resolution meshes. And we know that Hollywood over the last 20 years, I worked in the film business for a decent amount of time making movies, sort of pioneered computer graphics and the pursuit of realism. So there was a lot to be learned front-end techniques. And as we approach peak photorealism for interactive entertainment within games, we were able to sort of get ahead by actually supporting that industry, not in a way that was a diversion. Almost everything that we've done that enables Hollywood to make better pixels is also being used by game developers. Better blend shape systems for faces, better eye shaders, better hair. We're seeing all our developers making games that require digital humans or digital characters to use that stuff. But what it's definitely doing is there's the simple effect that, hey, the engine produces better looking pixels out of the box. But the really cool thing is that we're now seeing a crossover of the way that people think in both industries. Yeah, I think you see these great storytelling games built on our engine, and other engines are definitely using Hollywood tricks to lens things and frame things and help audiences or players understand better the story that they're trying to tell. Facial animation technology is pretty much the same in both industries now. If you go and play Red Dead Redemption or Horizon Zero Dawn, great facial animation, and it's done, it may not be quite to the same fidelity today on this generation, but it will be on the next generation. It's the same stuff. So the two industries are sort of helping each other, but there's this cool side effect of, working on The Mandalorian, where Jon Favreau is able to use a real-time engine to produce the pixels that produce his final shots, make him start to think about, oh, well, if we do a dogfight here, should I use gameplay dogfight? Should I make some vehicles that I can fly? Should we make a weather system? And I think eventually what's going to happen is that IPs will no longer be these, oh, it was a movie and it got converted into a game, or it was a game that becomes a movie. I think there'll be this continuum between the two worlds. And I think that the artists will crossover. I think that we'll see when it comes to content creators for making CG assets, whether it's making a car or making a chair or whatever, or a rock, they'll be the same for both industries. And we'll see a massive cross-pollination between these two worlds. And does that mean that games and movies will be better? Yeah. But I think we'll see new types of entertainment. Look at how we're blurring the lines in Fortnite. We have concerts happening in Fortnite where millions of people take place. And I think entertainment's going to go through this awesome mutation over the next 5 years that really blurs the line.
That sounds incredible. And it also sounds like you guys are preparing to bring back the age of the licensed game in a new way. I'm very, very happy to hear that. I'd love a new Batman game that's based on a movie, or,
Well, just think. You think about, so imagine, I have no idea what Warner's planned to do with it, but imagine they were making a new Batman game for next generation consoles, yeah? Mm-hmm. We know that's going to look amazing. It's going to look pretty much like a high-end animated movie with badass video game in action. Well, wouldn't it be great for fans to go deeper and see animated stories in that world using the same assets and the same characters? Would it be great that then things are rendered live on your PlayStation 5 or your next generation Xbox, and they're shareable and modifiable, and the sky's the limit? I think we're going to see some really crazy developments over the next 5 years.
Tim, what's it been like for you to kind of watch this evolution? Because you've been here from the start, and you started off making a game engine and making games, and now sounds like you're trying to change the way we consume entertainment as a whole, and it's still at its core anchored on Unreal Engine. That must be mind-boggling, right?
It's been an astonishing amount of progress in the industry over the past 20 years. Computers are a million times faster now, for graphics processing than they were back then. So it's been really, really fantastic to see it. And I think back then, in the very early days of Unreal, it was becoming obvious that real-time computer graphics would have far-reaching effects on society. They just have to reach new levels of quality to get there. And it's taken a very long time to build it up to that point, to the point where you're actually shooting live shots in The Mandalorian with real-time computer graphics backgrounds. And it can be used by architects and automotive designers and everybody else for photoreal versions of their products for marketing and for product visualization. It's funny because actually back in those early days, it was like 1996, 97 when CD-ROM was invented and became a widespread thing that everybody was out and buying and talking about. And we had this idea of transmedia and of movies and television converging with games to produce a new form of entertainment. And the result was a bunch of hokey games that were just like watching a movie and then clicking and picking a static choice. And that didn't work. Nobody wanted that. But it's actually finally happening now, right? And it just shows that a lot of these predictions that were made about the future that seem to be wrong, we're just early and are actually happening at scale now.
It definitely seems that way. Stepping away into the other big thing that you guys have going, Fortnite. Massive success story, obviously. What has been your key takeaways from Fortnite's growth and evolution into what it is now? I know, Tim, you said you don't create Fortnite, you're not Mr. Fortnite, but obviously you've been a key part of it. For both of you, what do you think has been those takeaways for you?
Games aren't just for hardcore gamers, right? Games are a medium that everybody can enjoy. The fact that Fortnite, though it's a battle royale game, a pretty serious game type, you have to play pretty seriously. It's for a huge range of gamers of all sorts, hardcore gamers and casual gamers and guy gamers and female gamers of all ages. As the guy who's not ever been the Fortnite designer, but has been, one of the technology advocates behind some of the decisions we've made, I couldn't be happier than to see what all of the different platforms have made possible and finally opening up and enable gamers to connect together.
One of the most awesome parts of it is that, you make a traditional box product game, you make it, you work very hard, you're proud you put it out, and then you have fans, but you don't have this live connection. The fans of the game are there playing it right now as we speak. Millions and millions of people having fun, being connected to us and us being connected to them is a pretty incredible feeling, and also a huge responsibility to make sure that we do the right thing by gamers and offer enough options as the game evolves into all these different things that they stay entertained. It's interesting. It's a little bit akin to running a core game with a theme park at the same time. It's been a pretty exciting evolution for us.
I'm going to be honest with you. I probably write more about Fortnite than I actually play. And it's something I think about almost daily because, the way the world works in online print and that kind of stuff. And I just want to go back to that time when you guys basically hit reset on it and did that thing where you're like, the world is exploding. That was like the first time in ages that I knew that I didn't have to think about covering Fortnite for like maybe an hour or two, and it was like life-changing. It felt like the world came to a stop, and I think a lot of people who play Fortnite, cover Fortnite, stream Fortnite probably felt the same way. What's it like to know that you have a game where when it stops to be functioning, it's almost as if the world has come to a grinding halt? What's that kind of, knowing that you have that kind of impact, what's that like?
I think that's the neat thing about the world that the Fortnite creative team has put together. It's a magical place in itself. It is as real to people as a lot of the environments where they live in real life, and it kind of transcends everything, right? Any game developer is always going to be an imperfect company. People are always mad at Epic for this feature or that downtime or any other thing like that. But the Fortnite world itself is above it, and it's kind of separate from the company, and it's as much the product of the community as of the company. It's the players and the streamers and the Fortnite creative mode authors that make it what it is. And it's really a constant evolution of the community playing it, finding things, suggesting things, and the game evolving to adapt, with all the latest earnings. And even though we don't like to really go out, the team likes to talk to the world through the game, right? We like to go out and make big statements about our the creative efforts. It's much more about communicating with players through the evolution of what happens in the world. And it's imperfect, but it is really quite a magical thing.
It's very humbling. That moment. It's funny. I don't work directly on the game, although a lot of my friends work on the game. But we all knew that we were going to shut it off for a period of time, and internally. There's a lot of, oh my God, is this the right thing? Are we going to lose our players? Are they going to be upset with us? And we don't know. We're just, we're regular human beings that make video games, yeah? But the lesson there for all developers is don't be afraid to do the thing that feels a little bit crazy and exciting. Like, don't overanalyze it. Like, we just did it, and we're like, well, we'll see what happens. And it worked. And honestly, many of our decisions have been about, just not being super conservative and overthinking things. Like, go with your gut instincts, and if your players love your game, even if you make a mistake, you can course correct and come back. People shouldn't be afraid to be experimental and do new and interesting things. And I think that's one of the most wonderful things about being part of Epic and having such a humbling audience that plays our game. It's been an amazing few years.
Yeah, I think whether you play it, like it or not, I think one thing that's not arguable is like it is a fascinating game, and it's constantly trying to upend your expectations and do something different. So even as someone who is in that moment was like, great, I don't have to think about Fortnite for a couple of days, the whole thing really did fascinate me. I wasn't writing about it, but I had my eye on it, and it wasn't just because I was waiting for something to happen. It was because I genuinely was interested in seeing what was going to happen next. It's almost like an impressive viewing experience from the outside as well.
It actually, one interesting thing for just entertainment in general, you know, with the advent of streaming and people, you know, binge watching and just watching stuff when they want, that whole live event, you know, I'm pretty old, so when I was a kid back in the UK, we had 4 channels, and three when I was a little kid, but we won't talk about that. And, you know, that whole thing of everybody talking about the same thing, did you see that on TV last night? Like, we've sort of, with these live events in our game and other games and what they're doing the same thing universally across the planet at the same time and getting everybody talking is a really cool part of being a human being. And the fact that we are connected with the internet and things can spread is really exciting. And I hope that the streaming companies realize that live stuff, doing something, it's a pretty powerful thing, and it really does get people talking.
I mean, I think the impact of it and Fortnite kind of leading charge is immediately already visible. Like it's unconfirmed and it's rumors right now, but like there's talks of, you know, the next Call of Duty being revealed through Warzone, and that wouldn't happen unless Fortnite was doing what it did. And then non sequitur, you've just reminded me about the first time Channel 5 came into existence. Do you remember that?
No, because I think, well, I might have. When did Channel 5 open? I left in '97, so I think it was like on the cusp of me moving to America. Yeah,
I think it would probably have been after that, because I remember being in the teenager years, and it blew my mind that another channel could just be created and added to television.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Ridiculous.
I'm that old. I remember color TV coming into our house. I'm like, whoa.
For the longest time, I used to play my Sega Mega Drive on a black and white TV, and even when color TVs existed, and I was like playing Aladdin in black and white was both bizarre. And when I play Aladdin now, I'm like, it feels wrong because it's colored, and I'm like, this should be in black and white. Tim, how you doing there with your Diet Coke in a Popeyes cup? Still good?
Yeah, it's good. I have plenty.
Fantastic. One of the other key things that you talked about and announced afterwards was the changes to the Epic Online service things that were happening. You kind of have, you're empowering people with more, you know, connectivity and networking options. Can you talk a bit about that and what effect you potentially see it having on the wider gaming industry?
Sure. You know, since 2012, we've been building this really extensive set of back-end systems for all of our games that provide accounts and social features and friends. We're working on voice and other communication features. All of the services need to matchmake players together into a cross-platform game experience. And so the Epic Online Service Initiative is aimed at opening up all of that stuff we built to all other game developers for free. It's really especially targeted at the cross-platform problem, because if you look at building a game and shipping it on a lot of platforms, there's Xbox Live, there's PlayStation Network, there's the Nintendo online services, and then there's Steam and, you know, other services proprietary to each publisher. But when you're shipping a multi-platform game, each one is still, you know, locked to only interoperate with players in the same device family. And so, you know, by integrating the Epic services, you can use the platform services side by side with multi-platform services and really connect all of your players. You know, when you look at Fortnite's growth, there are really 2 big growth spurts. One began when the Battle Royale mode launched. Just had this magical combination of gameplay that created a new type of experience. But the other major growth spurt occurred when we connected all of the platforms together, enabled everybody to play with all of their friends everywhere. And people who play together with their friends spend a lot more time playing the game together. They enjoy the game more. You know, they spend more money. Every aspect of the game experience becomes better for them and better for the game developers too. When you have a complete social framework like that, so opening up to all developers is a way of jumpstarting that, and we did it for free too. You know, the cost of operating these services is fairly small. We're not offering free game servers, right? Those are massively expensive and consume a huge amount of hardware horsepower. We're talking about friends and accounts and matchmaking and these kind of asynchronous backend services. And so the cost of operating it is low enough that we're able to offer it to all developers for free, and we benefit by the growth of the player network. every time a new gamer comes in and creates an account, and every time they make new friends in the game, that friend relationships benefit every game that uses the services, including ours. And so it's a really great collective way for the game industry to kind of approach the next generation of cross-platform features together.
Epic and you, Tim, specifically have been big proponents of cross-platform play and creating a homogeneous kind of environment for everyone to kind of play together. We've made some inroads there. You know, some companies have been a little more vocal about being into the idea, while others are a little still, they have some walls around their gardens, so to speak. Why do you think it's important to have this? And what would you say to anyone, developer, publisher, or even platform holder that might still be gingerly kind of approaching it and might still have some thoughts about trying to maintain these walled gardens?
Right now, every platform supports cross-platform play, and in none of those cases has it been a special exception made just for Fortnite. In every case, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo have opened this up as a general program any developer can participate in. There were always a lot of business forces shaping all of this, and a lot of just fear of the unknown, and recognition of, you know, if we can connect these devices together, then, you know, what will happen? Will the internet blow up, and will you know, players be able to trust players on other devices? But you know, it's worked out remarkably well, and there's been just a wonderful community around Fortnite. Really, I think the lowest toxicity community you see in gaming as a result of the kind of the style of the game and the spirit of the gameplay. We're super happy with where all the console makers stand. They've solved all of the challenges and all of the concerns we had in the past, and we've been a little bit vocal about this, right? We've had some disagreements with folks over cross-platform play, but those are all solved. And you know, we have some disagreements with the mobile platforms right now over the business practices, and I think that's going to be another frontier that the whole game industry is going to need to work together to push forward over this next generation. You know, in the spirit of having open platforms which all developers can participate in freely.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really miss seeing the plasma ball on the background. Kim, I like your background currently, but earlier you showed me something.
I've got my awesome plasma ball in the background.
Please,
my game.
Please. Yes, that's more like it. Thank you, Tim. Please plug it in for us.
It's just there you go. That's there it is. But I was having a little bit of a plasma war with Tim the other day, so I upgraded. I leveled up.
Yeah.
The problem is this thing puts out so much electromagnetic interference. They'll actually force my computer to turn off, or my.
Well, hold on, Fortnite might go down. Don't.
Yeah, don't do that.
Hang on, let's see what happens. It might work.
Imagine if Tim just ends this interview because it's the sheer force of power coming. Yeah, that's more like it.
All right, who's doing it better?
Oh, yours looks better. Yours is more real.
Your one looks better, but I'm going to be honest, Kim, you've got some megalomaniac villain energy going on with you right now. It looks like you're about to plot world domination, which I guess if Unreal Engine 5 goes the way you want, maybe is the case.
I'll just go back into my construct.
Yeah, if you don't, that's good. That's pretty good. Thank you so much for putting both of you for giving us a bit of that hit of the plasma ball. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's great. I plan to put it away and not bring it out until there's another Diet Coke spill.
Moving on, Epic Games Store. That's been a huge initiative for you guys recently. You wanted it to be a kind of challenger to the status quo when it came to digital delivery and to be almost kind of a disruptive element in the industry. Has that been the case, and how has that been received by the wider game industry?
It was a daunting challenge, right? This is challenging an entrenched competitor in a very well-established market is fraught with peril. And if you look at the previous stores that launched on PC, GOG and Humble, both are really awesome stores. Both of them launched with a lot more features than the Epic Games Store had. But both of them spent years getting up to the point of having 0.5% of market share or 1% of market share. And so we realized early on that we needed to take a really, really bold approach and a disruptive approach. And so free game program was launched, exclusives were launched, and a lot of things that we knew would be controversial in some ways, especially with the hardcore, Steam gamers who bought hundreds of games on Steam and want to buy all of their games on Steam. But it's worked incredibly well. In our first 15 months, we ended up up with about 15% market share. It's still growing. Our usage rate, our monthly active users since that point when we started announcing those numbers has gone up and more than doubled. And so what we see is a really healthy, robust alternate store ecosystem growing, and bringing these better economics to all developers. The revenue sharing, giving developers 88% of the revenue instead of 70%, really is aimed at shaking up the economics on all of the open platforms and platforms that should be open. We'd like to bring the store to iOS in the future, and we will bring it to Android. We think it's a good way to help the industry forward, and it's another way where Epic, as a game developer, had built up this audience around Fortnite and learned how to operate a distribution platform on PC and Android. And now, as we've done with many things, from the Unreal Engine, the Epic Online Services, we open it up to all other developers to use with their games, and are trying to serve the industry and provide a really interesting alternative to the ecosystem. But it's been funny. There are a lot of PC gamers who just like to buy everything on Steam, and so I'm seen as like the arch nemesis of these hardcore PC gamers, and it's funny to be seen that way. It's like raw,
Yeah.
some sort of enemy to them all.
Especially considering your background and I mean the connection to Unreal and Unreal Tournament, and if anything, you're still kind of the kind of one of the forefathers of modern PC gaming, and Epic is that way too. So it's quite ironic that you might be seen that way for a lot of people. Maybe it's just the old people that remember at this point, but.
Well, it takes a lot to change an industry, and I think the industry, the game industry, still needs to evolve and change further. I think the way that crossplay was opened up in this generation has been a wonderful boon for games, and it's going to be even bigger and even better in the next generation as it becomes more pervasive across lots of games and across publishers. But these store model has to change too. It's, as I was saying about the engine and the importance of developer productivity, the hardest problem in the game business for game developers isn't even the creative and the technical work that they have to do. It's just the sheer cost of building these products that holds everybody back, and it's a limiting factor. And so whenever you can ensure that more of the money that consumers spend on games goes into the pockets of game developers and not middlemen, including us as a middleman, that's a great thing for the entire game business. It will lead to better games and better economics for everybody.
Obviously, one of the things that I and various other people who use Epic Games Store love is free games. Is that something that you intend to continue doing for the foreseeable future? Is it sustainable from a business side and for you and your partners? I think someone calculated you've done put out like $8,000 worth of games or something like that. Maybe that number's wrong.
But the economics of that process are actually really amazing. So, by doing a bulk deal with a game developer where we buy a lot of, basically just pay them for the right to release their game for free for 1 week, we've been able to get an amazing array of games to gamers, including getting people to play games of types, genres they never thought about playing before. You're not going to go out and buy, if you're not into games like Satisfactory, you're not going to go out and spend money to buy Satisfactory. But if you get it for free, you realize it's an awesome game. People have discovered a lot of great games that way. It's been a boon for game developers. Most developers who launched their games for free on the store found that their sales on Steam and on console platforms actually increased after they went free on Epic because of increased awareness. And so it's been a really positive thing. And it's brought tens of millions of new users into the Epic Games ecosystem, and that's been a wonderful thing for the company.
Fantastic. Well, I think sadly we're out of time, but Tim, Kim, thank you so much for spending upwards of an hour talking to us, and we really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing more from you guys and seeing what the future holds for Unreal Engine.
It was awesome, and honestly, you did a fantastic job interviewing. It was really good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks live to me.
I'm alive.
Me because now
Sound
can you hear
question
me?
mark.
Now it's probably a thing. This is the first time I've ever had my mic muted, and I want to make sure. I want to make sure everybody's. I know there's some GameSpot people who might be here. It's a thing I do. It's a fun goof. It's a funny
Did
joke.
you say
Yeah.
GameStop?
It's a test
No,
for
I
the
said
audience, and
GameSpot.
guess what?
Never
They
make that
passed.
mistake. So I just want to make sure everybody can hear us and see us. Let's just go around the horn here, make sure everybody can hear everybody. Abby, Russell, can they hear you?
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo!
I can hear
I'm
ya.
here to play some
Ben-
games.
Ben Pack.
I'm here to play some games. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just doing what Abby did.
Michael, can they hear you?
What up? What up, y'all? We're here to play some video games, bro.
And some
Video game.
more. Some more. What's going on? Can they hear you?
Can you hear me? I hope they can, because otherwise I will be wasting my voice, and I hate doing that. You know
Don't
what I'm
waste that
saying?
beautiful voice. I'm gonna put myself up a little bit. Oh, look at this nice graphic. Everybody see this nice graphic?
It is lovely.
It is very beautiful. And I hope I got everybody's Twitter names right. Look, we got Twitter names. You can go follow people on Twitter. There's donation amounts there. We'll get to all that in a second. Soon as I get confirmation from them over in the GameSpot chat looking at it. And we'll just make sure everybody's good.
We're
And I
good,
think-
apparently.
Yeah,
Young
look
Eric
good.
K has done an all caps yay, which is pretty much what you want.
It's the only voice I trust. Okay. Let's get started. I think we just start right from here. Hello and welcome to everybody. I'm Vinny Caravella, joined by Abby Russell and Ben Pack from Giant Bomb.
Hello.
And then we've got Tamor and Michael from GameSpot.
Hi.
And what are we
What up,
doing here
y'all?
today? What are we doing here?
So we just kicked off day one of Play for All, a charity fundraising event, which originally was conceived by the team as a part replacement for E3, because apparently people need E3 in some regards. But also we wanted to do something useful and helpful. And we decided that we wanted to raise money for Direct Relief, which is helping out frontline healthcare workers in their fight against COVID-19. In the time since, the world has changed, or parts of the world that have always been there are now surfacing and are more obvious to people than ever. And in light of that, we decided to also raise money for Black Lives Matter. If you tuned in earlier, you'll notice that you would have seen that we pledged our support over the next few weeks while Play for All is happening to Black Lives Matter. And you can see the links in the graphic there where you can go to donate. But we're also encouraging people to go out and, share, amplify voices that are, fighting the cause against social injustice and systemic racism. But for our part, we're going to try and take the platform that we have in gaming and do as much as we can to raise money for Black Lives Matter and COVID relief. And the Giant Bomb team, you guys, our friends, very graciously accepted an invitation to play games with us. So we're going to goof off, play games, and hopefully do it for a good cause.
Yes, and
Yeah,
while you were setting it up, I just want to make a quick shout out that I had the link wrong in the graphic and was able to change it while you were doing that amazing intro. So thank you very much.
Wow.
Michael, you want to pick it up?
Great work, Vinny. Yeah, I just want to say one more thing before we get started is we appreciate your time and attention, especially for us at GameSpot, and then being able to extend to the Giant Bomb community. A lot of us are fans of Giant Bomb. We're friends with everyone there. And it's really nice when we get together to do something like this. So it's really important to us here at GameSpot, and me and Tamor, who are were on earlier to speak on Black Lives Matter and why we're doing this and why we're so passionate about it. All right. So I hope everyone can, enjoy what we're doing here. And I know times are tough. I know money is tight for a lot of us. But if you can give, please support these causes. They're very important to us. They're very important to everyone out there. And continue to educate yourself, right? After you have a blast on this stream, we're gonna have a good time. Afterwards, after you support with donations, continue educating yourself, continue learning about what's happening in the world, and take action when you can. So, Vinny.
Yeah, I'll just add that it's if this stuff makes you feel really tense and anxious, you are not alone. I woke up this morning feeling like I was going to throw up. So here we go. It is not a comfortable thing. It's not supposed to be a comfortable thing. It is a very uncomfortable thing. And I would just echo the facts that, or the sentiment of awareness and amplifying voices, and also encouraging people to recognize that this is a real problem. Is what you can do if you're struggling. Also, those links in the bottom we will call out later. But for now, should we start?
Let's go.
Let's play some games.
So, okay. The task was, what's a board game we could get together, play quickly with 5 people that we could all learn and play on a tabletop simulator. This is a game called Deception. It's got maybe a subtitle, which I'm not going to go into. I'm just going to call it Deception because I don't love the subtitle. Right now, it doesn't feel good saying it. So we're going to play a game called Deception. It is a mystery game. And Abby and Tamor and I have played some failed versions of it on Tabletop Simulator, and we have gotten through some of them. I think we're going to be able to do this. It's going to be clunky. It's going to be fine. Tabletop Simulator, I think, is great at what it does, but also it allows for a lot of weird stuff to happen. So should we start? Who wants to just flip the table first so I could reset it? Perfect.
Hey.
Whoa.
I get scared every
Flipping
time
it?
if I
Could we
don't,
like
so.
flip it around to multiple people? Okay, it's gone.
It's gone.
Ben, do you
What
you
the-
also want to flip the table?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, flip the table, Ben. Yep, there you go.
Whoa.
Oh
Hey.
God.
Wait,
Yeah.
I lied. It wasn't fine. I did it. It's
Oh,
great.
okay.
All right. This is going to be basically a mystery. Ready? So we'll kind of go through here and start with a game like a version of it we won't take super seriously, and then we're going to take it very seriously. And so
Okay.
one of us is going to be the forensic scientist in this, right? And I will join that right now. And later on, we'll all join this queue here, okay? And you're going to have to bear with us as we all kind of learn this again. I'll just explain also, if you're watching the stream, the colors on the right-hand side here will correspond to where the players are seated. So everybody just say your screen name, because we didn't use our real names, which is maybe a problem now I'm realizing as people are trying to figure out who we are. I, Vinny, am Mind Cavity. Over here, I'm this color. I'll assume it's either red or brown, being colorblind.
It's brown.
Okay, thanks. That's my favorite color. All right, who's next?
I'm Abby Russell. I know it's really hard to decipher, but that one's
Ooh.
me. It's yellow. I'm the little squirrel in the knight's outfit.
Okay.
I'm Tamor. I like pink.
Okay. Next.
I'm on purple. I'm normal human bartender Jackie Daytona. Over
Okay.
here.
All right. And then finally,
I am Brazy Asian. That is a very old AIM screen name that I carry on into my Steam name. So that's me. I'm Orange.
and I'm glad. Thank you for seating the pink and the is purple. Is that right? Next to each other, so
Yeah.
I can tell by the contrast and see them apart. I appreciate that. Otherwise, I'd have a problem. All right, so I'm going to take all of this off. From what I understand, you want to use these roles for more than 5 players. So I'm going to undo all of those. And I'm going to leave this on the default. And let's start the game. We're going to play Tabletop Simulator. This is in the Steam Workshop. So it's not official, but people, man, they do a lot of work for these. Here we go. Look at that. Everything's on the board.
Ooh.
So now everybody's going to have gotten a card here. And now the other players can't see your card except for mine, which says Forensic Scientist, right? Everybody else is going to see question marks, right? So you're either going to have a card that says Investigator or something like that, or a Murderer. So you're going to want to keep that a secret and don't tell anybody. If I hover over your card, I can't see it yet either, and nobody else can see it. In front of you are going to be 8 cards. The top row is going to be a murder weapon. The bottom row is kind of going to be a murder accessory or a clue, as far as I understand it. I should preface this. I have not played this for real in real life. We practiced playing this it's everything went great in rehearsal, so it's going to be fine, as it always does. So you have a top row is a murder weapon, bottom row is a murder accessory. So I am the forensic scientist. Basically, think of me as kind of the dungeon master for this. If you've played D&D before, if you haven't, it's not going to help at all. The other thing I should say is, pretty shortly, I'm going to close everybody's screen. Basically, I'm going to turn your screens off, and I'm going to, has anybody played Werewolf before?
Me.
Okay, great. All right. It's going to be put your head down, and then I'm going to unblind the murderer. So if your card has a murderer on it, please don't shrink the cards. It's so small already.
Sorry, I'm having a little fun here.
I did look up yesterday to see if there's any way to set it back to default, and I don't think there is. This is like my nightmare explaining a game. I'm glad I can live it out live on the stream. They should also have virtual cell phones that everybody could just start looking at while I explain a game. So the other thing is, this is my nightmare.
My badge.
So the other thing is, I'm going to make everybody blind on the table, and I'm going to unblind the murderer. I'm going to ask the murderer to point with their hand to their card. So I'm going to ask them to point to a murder weapon. That's going to be the top row, or point to, I'll say a clue, and that's going to be the bottom row. Okay. And I'm going to take note of that. All right. Does everybody understand that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, everybody I'll do it slowly, and then we'll do that, and then we'll start the game. I also want to say there are ways to make permissions in this game, so you can't make stuff big or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. I'm trusting everybody here.
Yeah, we can trust each other.
We can trust each other. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is fine. All right, here we go. And then I think the other thing, Abby, is after that I grab a location, and then I draw four random tiles from the thing. I should have gotten water before this.
I think so. Yes. That's kind of what I remember.
Okay.
And then I think each round you draw like a new tile for like a new hint.
Let's get started. This is going to be it. Everybody put your thinking caps on. The object of the game. Let's say before we even get started, the object of the game. Everybody has this little very little badge or giant badge that is next to their thing. There are only 3 rounds in the game. At any point, if you feel like you know who it, or not even know who it is, know what the murder weapon is, and the clue, right? If you know it is one of these cards or one of the clues, both of them, you put your badge in the middle of the table. You will knock everything over, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. Put it in the middle of the table, especially if it's gigantic. Perfect. Yep. I'll just put this back over here. And then you say what you want. If you're wrong, I will say you're wrong. Even if you have one of them right, I'm still going to say you're wrong. You have to get both of them right. And then you lose your badge and you cannot make another guess. If everybody has lost their badge, the game is over. Or if 3 rounds expire, the game is over. Okay?
So, and everyone wants to get the killer except for the killer. So even Vinny wants us to get the killer, right?
Yes, I'm on your team. So if 3 out of 4 of you play it and you're all the investigator and the killer's the last one, the killer can just throw their thing in and then
win,
guess
right?
whatever. Well, yeah, they could goof guess and be like, oh, I guess wrong. Or they could just say, I did it. So let's start. We'll learn by example. Everybody ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I guess.
Okay. And after we go through this, we'll take it slowly. If you have questions, just ask. It's a pretty slow-paced game. Well, it could be. Actually, it kind of moves pretty quickly after this, but we'll get started. So the first thing
And to indicate, are we just putting our cursor over our cards?
Yes, please.
So you put one over the murder weapon and one over the clue, right?
That's right. I will say, killer, please highlight a murder weapon, and then do that. And I will just say, if I'm not clear, I will say, hey, definitely don't draw a circle around it, because in the chat it might say that purple drew or whatever. Okay, let's give it a try. If this one goofs up, we'll start it over. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is blindfold everybody. Ready? Here we go.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone is blindfolded. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Everyone is blindfolded. Yes. Okay. Now, if you Abby, everybody, Tamor, Michael, everybody put your hand. Well, because everybody put your hands down below the camera so people watching cannot see. So you might be moving your mouse.
Oh.
Yeah. So if everybody wants to play along.
Wait.
Yeah, ready? So just keep your hands not on camera, so that when I say
that way they could.
If you're the
actual hands, not.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah.
Okay.
So when I say if you're the killer, please point to the murder weapon. If you're the killer, please point to the murder weapon. Okay. Everybody hold on, because I'm old. I need to actually physically write this down, because I forget things. Okay.
That's smart.
And next, if you're the killer, please point to a clue on the next row. Okay. Now, I'm gonna release. Well, hold on a second. If you're the if you are the killer, please click on the murder weapon again to hopefully release the highlight on it. Okay, and can you do the same thing if you are the killer? Could you please click on the clue again to release the highlight?
Also,
Very good.
nobody look at chat because I think it'll say what color was highlighted.
Okay,
so
don't
try to
okay.
avoid looking at chat.
All right,
I think you can shrink the chat, so you might want to do that.
Nobody look there. Okay, I'm gonna unblind everybody now. Okay.
Oh, I can see.
I can sing.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay. All right. So I now know what the murder weapon was and hopefully I'm getting the rules right. If I'm not, hey, we'll all get through this, right? So now it's my turn to pull one of these location cards, and I believe I get to choose.
You can pick whichever one you want, right?
Yeah. For this. So let's see so I'm trying to guide you guys to find where this took place and what would make you pick the right murder weapon here. So let's see. And I'm playing for real. I'm not goofing here. This is serious. This is a
really
bad
like
one.
kick as cause of murder.
All right.
Feels good to be in the outdoors, by the way. This
Oh
is
yeah,
I know.
this is lovely.
We're blocking a road, though. I hope no one drives over here.
I hope
Well,
no one.
nobody else
goes-
should be out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's true.
gonna pick this, and now I have to pick this.
Oh God. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
a lot of information.
Okay. So now I take this bullet, and I get to pick what I think will lead you. So the cause of death was. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm gonna say it was loss of blood.
Okay.
That'll do it.
That seems good for ice skate.
And I'm gonna say the location was a common outdoor space,
Oh, seems good for ice
right
skate.
now.
and this gigantic bullet, which I have to make a little smaller. The murder weapon belonged. I can say it was pretty easy it was pretty easily accessible. And then I'm gonna say. What was a sudden incident? There was a scream, and the victim's personality was average. They were of an average. They were
This
of
all
an,
points to ice
Absolutely
skating.
nothing.
an average personality, and okay, and then I probably shouldn't be talking, but whatever. The type of killer was. Sexual.
Just say it. Sexual deviant. We all know.
I don't know. They were amateur. They were amateur.
Oh.
All right. So now let's start with Timur. You start, and we'll go around in a circle here to Ben, and then Abby, and then to Michael. So you guys start talking it out, okay? And there's a clock we could start here, but let's say I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes-ish, or until kind of it peters out. So Timur, you kind of start deducing, and then kind of say, we'll go around in a circle here.
And one more time, we are trying to figure out the murder weapon. And what are the blue cards?
The clue. It's like a clue. Like, hey, I found this
Like
thing.
a clue found at the scene or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Got it.
So we need to point out who we think is the murderer, the murder weapon, and the clue.
You don't even need to one will indicate the other, so you don't even need to say who the killer is. But
Okay.
yeah. So tomorrow,
So
if you,
the first thing,
yeah.
all right. So the first thing Bullet Vinny put down was loss of blood, but he kind of ummed and ahed about it. So it's kind of like it's not clearly loss of blood, but it means that there's a potential couple of options here. So on Michael's side, actually, was it Michael? Actually, let's start from this side. From Abby's side, it's potentially the meat hook.
That's a fishing hook. You can't lose blood with a fishing hook. Come on.
On Michael's side, the ice skate. Is that Michael? Yeah, that is Michael. The ice skate. On my side, maybe
It's a great way to
If
throw
you
people
were-
off, you know.
Suspect.
if you were to believe for some erroneous reason that I'm the murderer, the throwing star, and then on average bartender Jackie Daytona, cleaver, the cleaver.
Ooh.
So those are the potential from that first card, the potential options. From my part, I think Abby raised a good point saying the fish hook is probably not enough. So right now I'm leaning towards either the ice skate, and since I'm not the murderer, the cleaver on average bartender Jackie Daytona's side.
All right, Ben.
That's my thinking on the murder weapon.
Ben, you want to pick up from there?
Yeah, I don't really know what I can add because that was such a good breakdown.
Well, how about something for the clues? I mean, either of these things could also be clues.
I don't quite understand how the clue relate. Like, I don't.
So any of these hints could either be pointing to the murder weapon or be pointing to the clue. Like a loss of blood could have been like a clue.
Okay,
I'm
or the
afraid to
location of the
pitch.
crime, common outdoor space.
Yeah,
Let's see.
like you are.
I'm looking at these clues. Maybe like an outdoor cafe for the coffee. Maybe I don't know. A lot of these don't really. A hammock maybe. Over at Abby.
I don't have a bleeding thing.
She doesn't really have a bleeding thing. I'm not
not
the
bleeding.
murderer. I don't know why I would cleave her if I
Hold
hardly
on.
even know her. So, and none of these come in outdoor spaces. So,
Can you stab someone with a chicken bone?
Of course, you can stab someone with
no.
anyone. You try hard enough.
I mean,
think if
that's a
you,
lot of work, and I don't think an average victim would be stabbed with a chicken bone. I also think that if it was a chicken bone, Vinny would be more likely to put in like accident, suffocation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I'm looking at these
poisoning.
other ones and it's like, okay, well, severe injury probably rules out like a push down the stairs for Abby
Yes.
or
Yeah.
Okay, I think,
Yeah.
Ben, are you done with your pitch?
yes.
Okay, so the ice skate. I think everything here is pointed to ice skate. We got loss of blood, common outdoor space, a skating rink. Easily accessible. You can get an ice skate anywhere, far more than a throwing star, and even a cleaver in a lot of ways. I also think average. What the fuck is more basic than ice skating?
Damn.
I think if you
Coming
were
out
gonna
with a
ice
heat.
skate, there would be a scream. There probably wouldn't be a lot of this other stuff that's on the sudden incident thing. Killer, amateur ice skating. I do think the clue we maybe need more info on. I do think it's the most like basic bitch stuff in this like bicycle sponge air conditioning journal. I think I'm like all in on Michael. I think it's the ice skate, and I'm leaning towards like a sponge.
All right, Michael. This is
What do I?
now you
what
have
do
to
I
do
do?
you do the same thing. Who do you think is what do you think is the murder weapon, and what do you think might the clue be?
Let's see. Damn. Okay. So I think this murder was premeditated. If I'm looking at clues,
Wait,
know what I'm saying?
Are we missing a bullet here?
No, you
got-
shrunk
Oh,
it
okay,
down
okay,
to
good.
very
Okay,
small.
yeah. Okay.
listen, I'm going all in on Tam right now.
Okay.
All right. So the push pin. This is like
The
they
push
have like
pin.
that board with that has like a bunch of strings connected to each
No,
other.
you know how
That-
many of those you need to make someone bleed to death?
It's also that's not a murder weapon, it's a clue.
No, that's the clue. So your weapon is the throwing stars. So you're plotting. I think you're plotting something. So
Wait, so you're saying that I use the throwing star in a common outdoor space that's easily accessible?
Have you played Tenchu?
Tenchu is not a common outdoor space that's easily
All
accessible.
those levels are common
If you
outdoor
are playing as Rikimaru and you are on foot patrol throwing ninja stars, you are going to get caught. The only way you throw a ninja star is if you're on a roof, and that is not a common, easily accessible outdoor space, Michael.
Well, I mean,
That's all I got.
hey, listen, don't let somebody push you around. If you're committed to
you're
your
right.
convictions here.
Okay, one thing I do have a question about. Not to interrupt if you
Mhm.
have something you're about to say, but
Oh, no, go
for
ahead.
pitching Like when we throw in our badge to pitch, is
Yeah.
that like a thing only one person can do per turn?
I don't
Like,
think
what is
so.
the incentive to doing it early or not just waiting?
Well, you got to do it by round 3. So let's just say you're, I don't know. I don't know what the actual incentive is to not waiting, but I don't know, the glory. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Like, or it's like so obvious. You're like, I got this.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel like Abby's on the right track here.
Great.
I think Michael Hyam. My man's done some murder.
I don't trust him.
You calling me average?
No, we're calling you
Dude,
basic.
Where's my badge?
I don't know.
I saw this crime. It's over here. Oh, it's in the bag.
Is it? Is it?
Now we will never get it out of this bag because I can't move it. All right. I'm gonna unless anybody wants to throw in a badge for this one. I'm gonna move on to the next round. Are we good to move on to round 2? Got a lot of big badges. There's a lot of egos over here on the investigation force.
I just want to make sure it doesn't get lost again. He's took my badge.
How do you make
big badge energy here?
Yeah, a lot of big badge going on. All right, it is plus and minus to make your badge. Everybody should know these to make your things bigger or smaller. All right, so now
I wish it was that easy in real life.
Now I get to pick a new card. And let's say I get to pick a new card, and then I get to put this down and replace a card if I think something's throwing you off, or I think you're getting it. And let's move on to help with the murder weapon or the clue. I can now replace any one of these with this new card, which is not great because it's just a murderer's personality, which is not really going to help on anything here. So let's get rid of this, which I feel like is not helping at all. And let's put this in. And let's say...
Tell us they're pervert.
I've been waiting. I've known Michael
like
for a long time.
If you ask me.
Listen.
Have you heard him talk about Hatsune Miku?
Hey, whoa, relax. All right, Miku is sacred. Like, listen.
Okay, let's. What would point you to a clue here? What would happen?
I would love to see this, Vinny. Please.
Well, we'll get you on the right track here. Let's.
I'm all about wholesome hentai, but don't talk about Miku like that.
Okay, here's where I'm going.
Arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Sounds like something a sponge user would be.
Entitled to clean themselves.
Oh my God.
Air conditioning.
So let's start this time, Ben. Let's start with you. We'll just and then we'll go around if you want, or we could freeform it. But I think there's a little more. You guys could play jazz if you want, but just I'll start with the structure and then feel free to jump in. So Ben, why don't you kick it off with what's going on?
Sure. I mean, we're like a lot has been said about Michael and the ice skate, but I think Abby threw off. Started deflecting a little too hard there with the hook thing. I've been fishing a few times. I've definitely caught a hook in my finger before. And she is also being pretty arrogant, I would say, right now about not being the murderer. And
have you ever played one of these games with me before? This is all I do.
Which just means it's the perfect clue from Vinny to push us towards Abby. I'm just saying, I'm a little conflicted right now.
I want to state for the record, because this could be dangerous later on, I am describing the clues and not the actual player. I want to make sure that this doesn't get weird later on if we have to describe a clue. It is definitely me describing the clues involved and not the people playing the game.
That makes sense, because you would have done perverted for Abby instead. I got it.
Yes.
Clearly.
Let's be real.
Arrogant means maybe they did it out on a lake, you know.
I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm gonna go all in on this with you, Ben. So I think Abby deflected hard. Now, I haven't played that many games with Abby, so maybe that's how you come at people in these types of games. I don't know, but you know what? At this point, that's all I can go off of. So fish hook. That's an amateur move. Arrogant, because listen. Rich people fish. I think that's. I don't know if that's true. Easily accessible. There's someone.
Fishing is like so blue collar.
No, it's fishing and golf. Everybody knows this.
Listen, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Easily accessible lake, common outdoor space, like out on the lake, loss of blood. That's the only thing that's gonna kill. But I don't know. I don't know what else to go off of.
Okay,
Can
I'm ready
spell it,
to.
Gabby.
I'm ready to pitch. So
Yeah.
I think that Michael saw
Yeah.
any moment to latch onto someone else, which is why he jumped on the Abby train so quick. But I think at the end of the day, ice skate is fucking basic, amateur, and makes you lose blood. Also, I think what's more arrogant than having a journal and writing about yourself?
Oh,
Ice skate
okay.
and journal. That's where I'm at right now.
I mean,
I am
I'm not
everyone
sure.
else except for Michael. Should
What?
I pitch it in, and then maybe we'll get it, or maybe
A giant badge.
maybe maybe it'll just like knock it out so we know it's not one of those.
Okay,
Like,
Abby,
'cause now's the time.
I think that's a good idea. I will say that as someone who also journals, I find your assessment of what journalism
Yeah, I was
is
gonna say.
quite upsetting, but I'm willing to back you on this.
Okay, Ben, are you good?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Michael.
Yo.
I am a badge. I'm a police officer. I'm more than a badge. And I would like to say it is Michael, ice skate, and journal.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
yeah. You nailed it. You nailed it. That is
How do
some
you know
cool
that?
crew.
How did you know
That
that?
was
Well,
that's impressive.
First off, Abby, that is amazing work, by the way.
I love mystery games.
I think you are
That's-
too good at this. Okay, Nancy Drew
Look at
over
that,
here.
look at that.
Yo.
Hey.
You played so much Nancy Drew. You know how to do this thing. But
That's
like,
the-
how did you get journal though? Well, I mean, like, there's only 4.
It was a
Dang.
guess. It's also like, what else was arrogant? But it was like, I don't know. I took a swing.
Damn,
Anyway, I
Vinny,
really
you gotta
have to
put me on
go back.
blast like that.
Great, perfect.
I'm ready for the next one. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna try and reset everything as it falls to the abyss. I think I don't know if there's a better way to do this, but
While Vinny is doing that, I'm
Yes.
just going to encourage people again to use the links in our graphics to support the 2 charities and 2 causes that we are playing games in aid of today and over the next few weeks. Play for All is supporting COVID relief, and you can see the tiny URL there. And also, we are supporting Black Lives Matter. Please, if you can, donate. If you can't, share. Let's do it.
all right. This time, now we can all join in for the forensic scientist queue. So if you see that on your screen, kind of near the middle on the table, you'll see join forensic scientist queue. You can push join, and everybody will queue up to get in there. And we'll wait for Abby to get back so she can join as well. I don't know if this is randomized, but we'll find
I
out.
think I think it's supposed to be. That's what Casey said, but
Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
Shall I join?
Yeah, I'll keep myself in there too, just in case. So
I know the
we'll
worst. Oh no, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, we will always know who the forensic scientist is. That's not a mystery. It's who the murderer is. So, if you are the forensic scientist, you will get a screen on your right, like a touch. It's very easy. It'll say blind everyone, unblind or blind murderer or unblind murderer. It's pretty self-explanatory. So let's start the game and see what happens.
All right. The worst
Oh,
part
God,
of
it's me.
someone snitching on me is that they're making some very good points, and I do not know what to say.
Okay, Vinny.
Yes.
Walk. It's me. I'm the guy.
Okay, you are the forensic scientist. So
Yes.
the thing that you will want to do is on the right-hand side of your screen, you will see a thing that says blind everyone. And you're going to want to click that. And then underneath that will say unblind murderer. And then you're going to want to click that. And then you're going to want to ask whoever the murderer is to point to a murder weapon. And then you're going to want to say, okay, now point to a clue. And then at that point, you're going to want to either write them down, or if you've got a functioning memory, unlike me, you could just remember it. But you're going to want to then lead people to, like I tried to do, lead people towards those. We can get to that after we come back. At the very end of that process, you're going to want to unblind everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, usually it's good to, like, before we get blindfolded, not a huge deal, to like familiarize yourself with your cards and also everyone else's cards.
Sure. Everyone take a peek.
Okay, I'm looking around the deck here. We got the old machete whip.
Safe, classic cartoon murder.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
While everyone's looking at each other's cards, I'm just going to quickly shout out a few donations that we've had.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crystal Chan, our very own Crystal Chan, donated. Ryan Peterson, Andrew Frangers, apologies if I'm saying that wrong. We've got a bunch of anonymous donations as well. A lot of people are donating right now. Persia, thank you for donating. Dan Streelman, Grey Fox, thank you for donating. Shane Tynan. Who else have we got? Mellow Brown, and then we've got a few anonymous donations as well. Thank you so much for donating, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah. Good start.
All right.
All right.
I'm looking at these cards, and who is it? Oh, Abby has a card that's her weapon is work. What?
Yeah, and
Is it like
I'm murdering
work
all of us right
stress?
now.
Are you like someone's boss?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Work
3,
like
2,
8
1.
hours.
Everyone's blind.
Okay.
Woo!
Now remember, don't give yourself away. If Ben says I'm unblinding the murderer, don't say okay.
Everyone act natural. I am unblinding the murderer. Okay, murderer, please point to a murder weapon. Murder weapon has been acknowledged. Please point to a clue. Clue has been acknowledged. Okay, now I unblind everyone.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Okay, everyone has been unblinded.
Okay.
Now we get those cards out somehow.
Okay, so Ben, if you see these location cards here, you get to choose which one you think you want to
Oh.
use. So you get to pick which one, and then you just grab it and drag it onto the table.
Got it, got it. Okay, 1 second.
God, Abby.
Um,
Where is it?
okay.
Oh, you make everything so small. It's so small.
Sorry, I'm still.
No, take your
kind of
time. No, this
looking
is
over
part of the
things.
thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm having fun.
I'm gonna go look around for murder weapons.
I'm going to look around for the tile bag. All right.
Okay,
I look-
now so then I just drag it onto the table.
Yep. Put it down next to the other card.
Got it.
Okay. And then, Ben, if you click grab 4 scene tiles, that'll give you 4. Yep, perfect. Now you just do the thing
All
with
right.
put the little bullets where you want to try and lead people.
Okay, cause of death, I believe. Let's go suffocation.
That could be hot tar.
Location of crime is a residence.
Oh.
Safe.
The
Probably not hot tar.
victim's hobbies include the arts,
Oh,
smell
this is so
in the
specific.
air. We're gonna go human waste.
Okay.
The weather, humid,
Okay, this is a fucking sauna and a half.
and
Yeah.
perceived by my sixth sense.
I'm thinking maybe
Waste.
sock.
Familiarity.
No, that's not really human waste, is it?
I mean,
Oh, I know exactly what this is. Okay, are we ready?
Wait, hold on. I'm still kind of
Uh,
processing. Wait, what's this familiarity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Balloon.
Yes. Yes.
Balloon. Okay.
Residence.
Okay.
So now,
Where-
do I assign somebody to go first?
yeah,
or
you can
are
pick
we-
somebody to kick it off.
All right, Michael. Since you were the murderer last time, why don't you kick off our investigation?
human waste, humid, familiarity. Goddamn. Let's see. Who's this? Is that Vinny? So I'm gonna roll with that sauna thing. I think that it's Vinny. Familiarity, human waste. I mean, like, look, you sweat. That's human waste. Like, yo, that's like sweat is nasty.
You're not
Like, I
wrong.
mean,
That
we're
is
not-
that is a waste.
Yeah. I mean, what else are we gonna do for like? What else is gonna apply to human waste? Like,
I was
real
think-
talk. Like,
Yeah.
there's no like doo-doo situations with anything else out
There
here.
are no doo-doo situations.
I don't
I do
know.
all
mean,
the
they-
time in
look,
the
look,
sauna.
you- you
Michael,
tell me.
there is a bus on here, and listen, I've been on a lot of I've been on a lot of bad buses.
Hey, we're out here in
Mega
San
bus.
Francisco.
I've been on
Ben and I ride BART.
humid buses with some waste on them.
Yeah, but are they residential?
Yes.
It's the sauna built into their house, yeah. And suffocation, like you turn the sauna up too high. Ooh boy, that gets
That is a cliche.
I breathe in there. So that's what I'm gonna roll with. As far as the clue goes, luggage, because it's someone who came over to spend time at the house that has the sauna.
Hmm.
Okay.
I
Wait,
have a
wait,
pitch for
Vinny,
it. I think
Vinny, you're done, son.
Well, I don't want to. Is it my turn next? I don't want to.
Yeah, let's just go around clockwise.
I don't want to
Vinny,
throw
or-
anybody off this
no,
hot
I'm sorry, Vinny.
trail, this hot human waste sauna trail. But I actually don't have a solid case to make. I did think it was maybe safe at first for residential suffocation. Then the human waste thing kind of threw me off. So I'm not exactly sure there. Balloon could also be suffocation because we have to keep popped balloons away from people, like dogs and small children. But again, that human waste thing, I don't know anybody pooping on a balloon and the oil.
Well,
You never been to one of my parties, Vinny.
And I won't.
how about if you suffocate to death, or like as part of dying, do you like vacate your bowels?
That could
That
be
applies across the
okay.
board.
That's yeah, sure, yes, definitely. So
general.
that definitely changes my thinking here, Tam, to a bear trap where somebody just pooped themselves because they got in a bear trap, which I would honestly, or if I saw a scorpion. So you. Let's say a scorpion. Arsenic, little known thing about arsenic, but I don't think Ben was going for this. Does constrict your throat, and that is how you die with arsenic. Unless Ben was
course
going
Vinny
for
seems to
that.
know a lot about
Wait, no, that's me.
Oh, sorry, Timur. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think Ben was going for that in the suffocation. I don't know if Ben, you knew that. Arsenic constricts the throat, and that is how you suffocate. And that's why I thought maybe the sock with the arsenic. It's a stretch. There's also a flute, which maybe he was out of breath. So I guess I'll just lead with arsenic and flute. The human waste I'll just put off to the side.
So are you saying that I poisoned some person, and as they suffocated to death, I was playing the flute?
Listen, maybe you put the arsenic on the flute.
Oh, that's actually Vinny's thinking like a murderer because he is one.
Yeah,
All right,
interesting.
Tam, the ball's in your court. Some accusations been thrown your way. What do you have to say for yourself?
So I think arsenic on a flute is wrong and wild. I think Vinny is currently murder leader in my eyes. I think sauna works for suffocation. Residence, as Michael Heim said, the sauna is attached to someone's house, this person's house. And then what is underneath this? The arts. I'm not sure about that one, but like there is a violin on Vinny's side. Human waste. I think like the suffocation. When whoever discovered this person, by the time they were discovered, like this person had pooped themselves. The dead body had like.
We
So
are
when
so
they-
stuck on human waste.
I know.
When they were discovered, there was the smell of waste in the air.
I would.
Okay, is it my
think-
turn?
I would
I
also
think-
just
I
like
think,
to say.
I think it was already humid as well, so that contributes. Like if you're in a sauna and it's already humid, it's hot as hell already. You're going in there, you're just making the chances of you suffocating to death in a sauna even more likely. And then familiarity, I think, as Chaim says, like you would go to someone who you knew. Like you wouldn't go to your mate's house to use their sauna unless they were super comfortable.
I mean, this is
So
airtight.
I think they like might be staying over. And that's what the luggage was for.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
What?
Work. All right, check this.
Oh,
Work. Like we need to think on another level. We need to open our third eye. Like.
I'm ready. I haven't even pitched yet.
Yeah,
we
wait,
should let Abby
Oh,
pitch.
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, my pitch is I want to throw my badge in now. So actually, if you do have some kind of strategy thing, I'll work
You
on
just
it.
throw it. Slam it.
I'm ready
Slam
to
it in.
guess.
Slam it.
All right, I'm throwing it in. Saunas are attached to the shitter. It's a sauna, and you know who loves the arts? People play the fucking violin. Sauna, violin. Vinny did it.
All right.
That is correct.
Nancy Drew again.
What? Yo. All right.
I am not doing any crimes around Abby ever again.
I am.
All right. From
I
Y'all
may
kept
be wrong
overlooking the
to
arts
say-
thing.
well,
Wow, this thing's huge, I
no,
love it.
Tamora had a flute.
Yeah,
What
I
is?
kind of
what is-
realized I had like 5 clues pointing towards the murder weapon and then only one the actual clue. But,
all right.
I'd like to take a little bit of credit for that. When I
Totally.
Yeah.
but
Interesting comment in the YouTube chat from David Louis. He says, "Wouldn't you blow off the arsenic when you started playing the flute? Is that how it would work?" Vinny, we're gonna throw to our arsenic expert.
Okay,
Vinny.
I would like to just admit here that I know nothing about arsenic and made up that entire thing about suffocation and constricting the throat.
Oh
So
wow!
like, yeah,
Benny, I believed it. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, how do you know
believed
this?
that as
no, I don't. I
that
just
is that's some next level deflection. right there.
completely
I'm
made
a-
that
I'm
up to try and throw you off the case. Also, don't look at the chat. What are you guys doing out there?
I'm not.
What are you
You
doing
think we're
out?
cheating?
I would
I'm
never.
absolutely not
I would.
cheating.
Hey, that's
I
another
don't want
mystery.
anyone to think
no
I'm cheating.
No, I don't
I
want
am
anyone
proud
else
to be
cheating.
very good at this
Uh-huh,
game.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking at a chat in between
mhm,
games. I'm doing it when I need to read the
mhm.
when I need to read the clues.
I don't
I
think,
mean,
I don't
the
think Abby would
donations.
look at the chat. for
No, I would never suggest that. But nobody look at chat unless you're the murderer. Then you can look at the chat so we can watch everybody's head turn when they look at the chat. All right, I'm gonna hit reset game, and hopefully that takes care of this mess that's on the table. But hopefully it then just will
This-
make.
that is no longer a bullet. That's a nuclear warhead.
Okay. All right. Everybody, hands up. So, because we've had trouble with the reset game thing before. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. I think it worked.
Hey.
Oh, okay, almost.
Ooh, just about.
so close.
Couple of cards
that-
didn't fit in the bag,
Oh,
but
it automatically knocked me out of the queue.
Which it should. Because
yes.
everybody gets a chance at it. All right. So I'm gonna hit start game again, and here we go. If anybody has questions, just everybody kind of gets it now, right?
yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Hitting start game.
Oh, I am a forensic scientist.
Okay.
Ain't that
That's
some
what
shit?
sounds like what a murderer would say.
Oh, okay.
The trickiest bit.
But that means I'm game master, right?
That's right. Yeah. So if you have any questions, just ask. But otherwise,
There's just a Lightning McQueen in my clues.
Okay, so
the murderer.
so my first step is to
Here, can we look at the cards first?
Yeah, I want to look at Lightning
Oh yeah,
McQueen. That seems legal.
Everyone peruse these cards and let me know when you're done.
Oh wow, look at this attack dog. Yeah, that attack dog is serious business.
It says to check people's cards as the sign. I can check people's cards as the scientist.
You can,
Oh, no,
yeah.
I
Everybody
already-
can see the cards. So you can hit Alt to go over anybody's card. You cannot see their murderer or investigator card, but you can
Oh, okay. I see.
hold Alt to see everything else. But you will
Right.
find out soon once everybody's blindfolded what the role is.
Okay.
What is dirty water?
I know. I saw that one. I was like, ugh.
What's the difference between dirty water and I guess leading people between dirty water and amoeba might be a tough one. Oh, some of these are good. Oh no, a bone.
Microwave oven. Have you played Yakuza? That's
Microphone.
creative.
All right, I am good. I am ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Y'all good? All right. Tam, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so my first step is to blind everyone,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Okay, blinding everybody. What happened? Okay. Now, the next step is to unblind the murderer, correct?
Mhm.
So, okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna unblind the murderer and don't show your reaction. Okay. Now, the murderer has to select a weapon and a clue, correct?
Mhm.
Please do that. I was about to say, let me know when you're done. Please don't let me know when you're done. Okay. Now, I can unblind everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Are you sure that you know who the murderer is now? And you know, and
Yes.
you're okay.
So unblind everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! See everything. Okay, I have.
Abby, you okay there?
No, I didn't pick a clue.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
All right. Going back to reset game.
All right, that was a practice. I was all ready to be the murderer too.
The thing Vinny did real quick, which I wasn't ready for, is he just kind of like when he was picking stuff, he like did little circles over it,
Mhm.
and then I was like, okay, I got the first one, and then he did little circles over the clue. And I think that's the best way to like.
Oh, shit, I'm so sorry, Abby.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right, I'm gonna hit reset game, but then
Okay.
Michael, you should just throw yourself back into the queue when I do that.
Okay.
So add yourself back in. And I don't know.
We all leave.
Well, I don't know if it's random, but we can try. Yeah, let's all leave so that you're at the top of the queue.
Hopefully, I don't fuck this up again.
And
I
then
know it's gonna fuck it up.
Abby, leave the queue,
Oh, I have to leave the queue?
and we'll rejoin just so he's at the top of the queue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
yeah, rejoin if you haven't done it. Okay, great. So I'll start the game.
Yay.
Hopefully, it's not random and it just is queued. But here we go. So now the murderer will be different, but that's good. So let's
Or
start.
will it?
Or will it? Let's start the game again. Perfect. Okay.
Well, I'm a forensic scientist.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, all right.
I got these cards.
Got these cards.
Got these cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I miss my Lightning McQueen.
I know.
I had a plan. I was all ready.
Yeah.
I don't know
Got away
what
from you.
blood released is actually is on your side.
Oh,
Then
Ugh.
does that mean is that loss of blood?
The same
that
as
like- Is that like bloodletting? Is what
I
caused it?
I don't know.
What's bloodletting?
That's like when
So, like,
you
Is it like
Mm,
the intentionally letting someone bleed out instead of like stabbing them and then
Oh, and then it just happened to be. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
I like the
Yeah.
idea of alcohol, but it's beer. Death by drink. You have to drink like 60 beers.
That
Look,
is
it was a
very
slow
inefficient.
one. You were an enabler.
yeah, I like the 6-pack of legitimately just Budweiser. Like they didn't even go out of their way. It's just Bud.
Oh,
All
it
right.
is, huh? Damn. Budweiser's got.
I'm
hey,
sure
it's-
Budweiser wants that that kind of heat. So yeah, same as Lightning McQueen. I think I am ready. Oh, I have a sword, and that looks like that's very much like no, it's not really a Witcher sword. I don't know. I'm disappointed now.
Chivalry.
Alright.
It looks like a sword from Chivalry.
Look at my leather shoes though; they don't match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Gross.
murderer.
Unsettling.
Okay, I'm ready.
Cool. Let's let me try not to fuck this one up, but I'm blinding everyone. Ooh. All right. I'm going to unblind the murderer, and please make no indication as to who you are. All right. Do your thing. All right. Okay. So now I've done this correctly, and I have realized what the murderer is trying to communicate to me. So now I must unblind everyone, correct?
Mhm, Yeah.
Okay. Unblind everybody. Sick. And let me jot this down before I forget.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a note field here. I'm gonna write something. No, I think that might be a public note. Okay, 'cause there's like a note thing in the bottom right, but that might be public.
Okay.
Ooh.
Now my job is to pull these cards and set down some.
That's right.
Whatchamacallit.
So the first
Okay.
thing would be the location card. So you get to pick which one of these you think is the best location card towards the top of the table here. So you
All right.
can kind of roll up there and then be like, I want this
Okay.
one or that one. And then you'll grab the scene tiles.
All right.
While Michael does that, Tim, you want to shout out the links
Yeah,
again?
so shout out the links. I can do that. tinyurl.com/gs-blm. That is our link to support Black Lives Matter. And then you'll also see tinyurl.com/gs-play-for-all. We're raising money for COVID relief efforts as well as Black Lives Matter. Following the tragic events of the last couple of days and the effort to support the ongoing kind of effort to make sure that social injustices and systemic racism are brought to the forefront and addressed and kind of discussed openly so that it can be addressed. We are providing our support in doing that. We're raising money for Black Lives Matter. So if you can, please donate. If you can't, share the stream, share information about Black Lives Matter. You'll find lots of resources on Twitter. A bunch of people are doing amazing work sharing that stuff. But yeah, if you can, please do donate. All the money is going directly to those two causes. We're not taking any of it. We're not involved in that. We're just directly supporting those causes.
Okay, I don't want
Michael,
to.
you only take one of the locations.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you some more, but yeah, you only take one location, Michael. And
I'm
then,
sorry.
no.
This
And
one
then
is
hit this thing up
multidimensional.
here.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you just hit that button right here, and then grab 4 and lay them out on the table. So there's a little button that says grab 4 scene tiles, or you can grab them from the bag. That's fun. That's another way to do it. No, that's fine. And then just pull them out of the bag. Yeah, just pull 4 of them out of the bag one at a time.
Okay, 4 of them.
Yep.
I was like,
There's. I will rotate this around.
okay.
That worked for me. I think I gotta be a little quicker on the thing. Okay, and there we go. And then we'll do that.
There we go.
All that training paying off. There we go. Okay, now
Cool.
now Michael, you'll want to use the now you want to do your thing.
Oh, I feel so dumb.
What? No, you, Michael, you should have seen us doing this last week, trying to figure out how to do this thing. It was a comedy of errors as we're like knocking stuff off the table. And how do you rotate? How do you zoom?
Thank you for lending me your wisdom, and we may proceed on investigating this crime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you don't want to say too much as the forensic investigator. You kind of just want to lay the pieces down without giving too much away, so that we can follow the breadcrumb trail.
Okay. Cool.
And find who the murderer is, who's not me.
I don't know.
That's something a murderer would say.
It's a loss of blood, dormitory, silence.
Oh, loss of blood is, man, this blood released really just shouting out at me. I don't know.
A little too on the nose, I think.
I mean, also there's an axe.
Yeah, and a sword.
Yeah.
There's also, well, I don't know, Tam. I feel
Sharpened
like
fan.
Sense of betrayal.
Graffiti. I think.
Physical.
Are we pitching?
No,
still have one more
I'm just kind of
thing.
spitballing here, thinking out loud.
Physically.
Physically. Okay, physically. Days.
Am I
Took days discovered? Wow.
now that I have put down these bullets, am I like, this is final? I can't move them around or anything.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
yes, but we're not like playing super strict. If you were like, oh, oops, but I would say,
What's
once
your
we start
final
discussing, we should probably not move them around, because you'll have a chance, Michael. You'll have a chance in the next round if you feel like we're being led astray to swap one of these cards out and kind of replace it. So Michael, pick someone to kind of kick things off, and then we'll go around the table, the virtual table.
All right. I want to hear what Abby has to say, because she has been on point. Like, I just want to hear.
Okay, so loss of blood and dormitory. I'm already feeling like sword and chalk, because like sword is also like a good sense of betrayal and a good physical thing. As far as silence and days, I don't know, but the chalk also just feels like the dormitory. Although you would probably do classroom if it was chalk. But looking at other dormitory items, maybe a flyer, maybe graffiti, could be like a flyer and blood released. I think, there's also surgery. Whoa. It took days is also a weird thing. I don't know. All I have is sword and chalk, so I'm going to stick to it. Sense of betrayal. The sword seems like a real sense of betrayal. That's kind of where my headspace is at. I'm a little thrown by like silence and days.
Can I pick it up next?
Go for it, man.
Okay, I'm gonna say not seeing a lot of loss of blood on Timur, so I'm gonna come back to it, except for the sharpened fan, which it could be. I mean, a sharpened fan that's very. Is that Melina or Katana, Ben? Who's that?
Sharpened.
Perfect.
Oh.
So I'm gonna axe is definitely a loss of blood. That's a big one, but like I feel like the ambient noise wherever an axe might not be quiet. I don't know if it'd be silence, or like in a dormitory doesn't necessarily feel like an axe, but it could be in the fire thing. But that also seems a little tough.
I feel like the dormitory is probably like a clue thing more than a weapon thing. 'Cause I feel like none of these
Yeah.
weapons are like school related. And also seeing the sharpened fan, I actually changed mine. I think it's sharpened fan and lunchbox.
Oh,
Anyway, keep
interesting.
going, Vinny.
A sharpened fan could be pretty
Lunchbox for the
quiet.
dormitory.
Yeah, like you know, like it's like school, right? Some kind
Okay.
of dormitory.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. And it was noticed because of the physicality, or physically. Is that what we're noticed because physically? I don't really know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Notice
Like,
because physics, huh?
like, what is that card trying to tell me as an investigator?
Throw
I
me
don't know.
off.
No, as
but,
in like, hey, something physically was a tip-off,
Noticed, but
right?
it took days.
So it could be okay. I think
Hmm.
interesting.
there's also this blood released, which is definitely something. But all of these clues make me think that it would be like loud. Like you have a flyer that's going to be at a loud place. Dentures are always funny. People would be laughing. Puppets. Puppets
Well,
would
I feel
definitely
like the
be in a loud
sharpened
place.
fan seems quiet. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be like a ninja thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna probably just kind of lean towards the axe and Abby's side, but I need more clues.
What?
Only because
That's not silent. There's nothing about a dorm.
only because she doesn't know it yet. That means she's probably the murderer.
No, I would be jumping on anybody and like doubling down if it was me.
That's right. So like if Abby weren't the murderer, she would know exactly who it is. So so that's where I am. All right, Tam.
So the ones that stick out to me. So I have concocted a story in my mind. Let's see how this goes. Lots of blood. So the person I'm building this around is Abby. Axe, lots of blood. Obvious, doesn't need to be explained. Dormitory. So the person who died was in the dormitory, another fellow student. Ambient, noise, silent. I think this took place at a time where people weren't in the dormitory. So like spring or something like that, or summer, where traditionally students would go home. But in this situation, two people have stuck around. Sense of betrayal. So that person clearly knew the other person. So for the axe to be killed, that's where like a sense of betrayal is what led to them being axed. Physically, I feel like the reason it was noticed is because like maybe it's like a pool of blood and became visible outside of the actual dormitory.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be under visual then?
Maybe. And then it took days for it to be found because there's no one else in the dormitory. Everyone's gone, including like the staff. So that's my story. I think it's Abby with the axe.
All right.
That makes no sense.
Uh-oh, that sounds very defensive, Ben.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say that's already been said. I think I'm between Vinny and Abby with it being sword.
Not the sharpened fan and lunchbox?
Sword in either like a cardboard box because they just moved in. The only thing that trips me up on Abby's is the axe makes a lot of sense, but the clue I'm still trying to figure out. Maybe it's video camera, maybe it's cupcake.
I think it's the video camera. Like that's where the betrayal might have been come. Like Abby was filming this person secretly.
Okay.
I like that. That's some good intrigue.
Don't forget, Abby, it's the ambient noise, which I guess would be like, was the noise in the room quiet? But let's do another round. I'm not ready to throw in.
Yeah, I'm not ready either, but I think we got to keep an eye on this sharpened fan and lunchbox. That is the sense of betrayal. That is probably silent. It's also maybe in a dorm, or I'm still leaning towards like sword and chalk, because I think chalk is more dorm than lunchbox probably.
Okay.
But also, it's not classroom.
Murderer just pointing from fingers at everyone.
Oh, okay. You're not the murderer who jumped on. You guys are randomly jumping on me or whatever.
All right.
I think you guys did it together. I think you're both the murderers.
This team is falling apart. So the next thing, Michael, would be select one card, take the bullet off the card, and then you can replace that card by grabbing another one from the bag.
So you get the other card first, and then you take it off. Then you get rid of this clue.
Okay, so this is a new card.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just put that down there.
It is backwards for me.
What the hell is mirrored?
Whoa. Okay.
Let me see
if and pieces.
Let me see if there's a
ashes.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at the scene. Okay.
Thanks, Dad.
Helping you guys investigate. It's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to choose which card to take out, preferably the one that has not helped.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay. I am getting rid of this one.
Hmm.
This don't make no sense. And I am putting this one here. The scene. Okay. I don't think this. Okay, so the scene
State of
of
this.
where the state of the scene. Okay. So, water stain. Tidy. Oh, okay. I think I'm visualizing this scene in my head a certain way that is becoming very hard to communicate through these cards. And I'm very like attached to the way I'm seeing this, and I'm
Okay.
sure none of y'all are seeing it either.
You just have to invite us into your mind palace.
That's right. That's right. Open the door. We'll walk through and we'll find it. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Mind Palace. Where's that from? I should know.
Persona.
Hannibal.
And Sherlock.
Right?
It's been in a lot of
Or
things.
Sherlock. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Tidy and untouched. Yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm going with.
Interesting.
Dorm, tidy, and untouched.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is all coming together in my mind.
Well,
Days to find it.
who went first last time? Abby, you went first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Should I
right.
go again?
No, I'll go.
Okay.
Murderer.
Okay. No. Okay, Vinny. I
Uh,
don't trust you or Timur. Y'all are fucking working together.
let me just. I'll start, Your Honor. I'll start with the defense here. Of
All right.
clearly none of these things on my side are murder. We all know the effects of arsenic, suffocation. Not gonna happen here on my side. But let's look at the real facts here. We've got an axe, which is clearly the loss of blood. We've got a dormitory where any number, a cupcake. Who hasn't gotten a cupcake for a friend? Who hasn't snuck some weed or smoke in the ashtray?
Dormitories.
Who hasn't done some videotaping with their old 4K camcorder in the dormitories? And who
You
hasn't?
can only choose one
Who
clue.
hasn't fallen in love? Any of these could really be. We got the silence of a video camera. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. We've got a sense of betrayal. Filmed. You were filming me? Oh my gosh.
You are wildin'.
Tidy and untouched. Video camera, and then
This is somehow having the opposite effect. I think it's Vinny now.
and then
I know.
This is a really poor defense.
I don't know. Time until discovery.
Honestly, I don't know.
Days.
I don't know who's who.
I don't know.
The
what would
days thing,
be-
I gotta dismiss that one. It's throw.
Like, would the days be I had time to put up graffiti? Like, is that? is
The
that
murderer was here.
I think tidy and graffiti like don't make sense to me. I'm trying to just look at other. I don't know. Tidy and untouched. This is a very clean ashtray. It's a very
Keep in
clean
mind for
ashtray.
the clues, Vinny. It's
Yeah.
also just you pick one.
Yeah.
The rest are just not there at all.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. It is. You have to
Okay,
match
okay.
one. Listen, I've murdered before. I know how this works.
He'll do it again.
Yeah. Listen, I'm starting to lean towards action ashtray. That's where I'm leaning, but I'm not ready to throw in. Granted, we only have one more round, so I rest my case.
Damn. Does anyone else want to go before?
I am less convinced about Abby now, but only because of the tidy.
Fucking Vinny.
You're
Here,
welcome.
okay, I'll make
You're
a
welcome,
pitch. I'll
Abby.
make a pitch for Vinny. Vinny. Oh boy. Okay, I am making a pitch for
big
Vinny
pitch.
for sword and chalk. Going with my gut again. Because I think tidy and untouched, I don't think it would be a lunchbox. Because I think a lunchbox is like food and you're there. And like, I don't think it's that. Sharpened fan still feels like betrayal and still feels like loss of blood. But I think sword can still be betrayal, still be loss of blood. I think it's a sword and chalk. I think it is. I think it is.
All
That's
right.
my gut.
Tam,
lifting up my badge.
I'm split kind of 50-50 on this.
I
I'm
have my
following your
badge.
lead. Oh
Make
shit.
Oh
you're
man, there's
pitching?
a badge is
Oh,
out
my
already.
God.
Oh, the big
It is
badge
big.
is out.
Okay,
Big
this is not my badge.
Oh no,
Okay,
and
let's
it's
hear it.
slammed on the table.
Oh my god.
Before I make this pitch, before I accuse, I want to say, Abby, that was a good pitch, but
Okay, if you're
Chalk.
voting for me, get ready to lose your badge.
the chalk. I think Michael Haim is smart enough to, if there was chalk involved, he would put it on classroom instead of dormitory.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is true.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I think it's Abby, and I think it's the axe.
And you got what's the clue? Wait, you got wait,
And
Mike.
the video camera. Sorry.
So Michael,
Video camera and
you don't say if any of them are right. You have to, if they're both right, you say yes, and if either one of them are wrong, you'd say no. Just say no. That's it.
Okay. No.
Throw that badge in the fucking ocean.
Are there any consequences for voting putting your badge down?
This badge now represents my abilities.
So Tam can no longer make a guess. He can still participate in the discussion, and once we're out of badges, the game is, or the murderer gets away. I'm ready, Ben. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to see another round.
Yeah, that was gonna be my guess too. So
I'll see another round. I'm telling you, it's the fucking sword. The chalk is maybe cardboard box because the dorm is a good point. But I think. Oh, hey Tater. I think it's the sword and the chalk.
Okay.
Damn. Okay.
I think that's what I'm rooting for.
I'm looking at these clues and okay, well let me pull out another.
We'll do one more. I'm ready for another.
We can only do one more.
Let's see what we got. Duration of the crime. This shit don't help.
I like that unclear as an option.
Quick,
Fucking
prolonged, phase.
What am I, an investigator?
I think this is helpful. This could be helpful.
Okay.
If it was a virus or like surgery,
or a
sword, like that's helpful. Or beer, alcohol.
Well, if it was surgery, then it'd be like quick
hours versus
going to...
instantaneous. Or
let's get rid of this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, which one was that? Sense of betrayal. Okay. There goes my fan theory.
Yeah, sword betrayal and sword with carrying a lot of heat.
For this duration of the crime. Oh, here we go. Gradual and prolonged are almost synonymous. Oh, wait, days less. Those three are like okay. I'm gonna go with prolonged.
Whoa,
okay.
This is blue. Oh no, this one just this upset my apple
yeah.
cart. Oh no.
Well, because a sword is not that prolonged.
I can't say anything further.
Could it have been, Vinny? I'm just gonna pitch you something here.
Yeah, pitch me.
Could it have been arrows in video? Like, could it be like somebody was filming somebody in their dorm getting shot by arrows?
That's very incriminating, Ben. I think you're the murderer.
I'm almost ready to drop my badge on it because, like, I honestly,
Dude,
I think Pam was right on with the chalk thing. I think he would have put classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but like maybe it's cardboard box and sword. I'm gonna do it. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm calling it. I'm putting my badge on the
Before you do
table.
this, wait. We got 2 shots at this, right?
Well, only
I have
only
one,
one. Only
and Vinny
one,
does, but one person's a murderer, Vinny.
Yeah,
so
one person's a murderer. So.
All right, I'm doing it. Abby.
no,
the
dude, go for Vinny.
cues.
We only have 2 guesses. It's not
My
me.
official guess is arrows and video camera.
Negative.
Okay, it's my fucking turn.
Oh,
okay,
man.
sword and chalk on Vinny.
Negative.
No, negative. I was all ready to win.
All right, so
Vinny,
it all comes down.
I know this move.
It all comes down. Oh man.
So Vinny, if you're not the murderer, do the fan and lunch. Vinny, you're the murderer.
Listen, I might not be the murderer, but I'm killing it. Okay, so let's go.
Oh my god!
I like that, huh? Let's see. Oops, the badge just flew away. Let's see.
I got rid of it.
So, all right. So everybody at the table can help me figure this out. So you can't make a guess. This is like family. This is like Family Feud style now. Like we go down the line.
I mean, I think you're the killer, but okay.
Okay. Let's imagine that I weren't for a second because I'm not.
It'd be really messed up if he was milking this.
Yeah, if you milk it and you're the killer, I'm gonna be so mad.
Let's imagine that I'm not the murderer, and let's play like that for a little
Hard
bit.
to, but okay.
Let's see, Abby, who would you pick if it weren't me?
I would pick the sharpened fan and the lunchbox.
Okay, sharpened fan and lunchbox.
Maybe a flyer and blood released, but I feel like Ben would be stupid to pick blood released when we had talked about it a bunch before the murdering happened.
I feel like the duration of the crime is not going to be prolonged with a sharpened fan. That's going to be a pretty quick crime, right? Like you're going to cut someone, and then you got to be done, right? That's what the loss of blood and the prolonged. I'm thinking maybe blood released over here because that's going to be like a bleeding. We're going to have loss of blood. And it's going to be a prolonged thing. and it might be silent because it might be like an operating room or something like that, right? So it could be there. I'm also thinking surgery. That's a very tidy place. The problem is blood released and surgery are very similar.
Also, if it was surgery, wouldn't it be like accident or like illness, disease?
It could
Depends on who you ask.
It could be, but that would also be loss of blood, right? So that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. We've also got this water bot. So the time until discovery could be days, which I'm thinking maybe blood released. Like it was just kind of like, the bled out, right? Bled out over days. It's kind of a...
Over days? That happens pretty quick, I think.
Well, I don't know. It depends how big the cut is. If we had that fish hook again, who knows? So I'm thinking maybe here. So Abby, I'm moving away from all yours here because I don't think we're having blood released on the microwave. I think the axe would be a pretty quick duration of the crime. Arrow as well.
Look, my instinct was way wrong, so I guess it's on you. Maybe I'm still voting Sharpened Fan and Lunchbox. I think dormitory is so specific.
The only thing we really need here is this clue, and that's going to be a tougher one to figure out. So I feel like with the dentures,
I feel like flyer would be more likely because it's a dorm.
Yeah, but would it be ambient? Would that be silence?
A flyer? You're hanging on a wall.
Well, I'm assuming the flyer, you'd probably be like, something going. But there are no things here. All right.
Sam, what do you think? You're pretty silent for a killer. Tam? More?
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm still convinced it's you.
I think it's a Sharpened Fan and the Lunchbox.
I still think it's Abby too, but some of these just
trying to figure out what the combination is.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think?
I think it might be.
I think it's still you asked me. I think it's the arrows is the only explanation I have.
I think arrow is the right one. But like,
I know I wasn't on my A game this time. I didn't get an easy win for us, but none of these clues make sense to me.
Okay.
How do you think I feel?
I got to make a guess.
Arrow and Rose.
Arrow and Rose. Oh no.
I was thinking arrow and cupcake.
I think it's Fan and
Sense of betrayal. Arrow and Rose.
Oh,
that's gone.
You got rid of it though.
But it's gone. But it's still factored in at one point.
Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, I think it's. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I gotta make a guess. I'm throwing in.
Penny, Arrow, and Rose. Do it.
All right, do it.
Don't do me. It's not me. Don't do me. You're wasting it.
Okay.
Arrow and Rose.
All right. Here we go. I don't know the clue.
Lunchbox. Lunchbox is the only other dorm thing.
I don't know. I'm throwing in. I'm saying blood released for Ben.
Oh.
And I'm saying
flyer.
Oh, why would it be dentures?
It's got to be flyer, right? If it's
it wouldn't be water bottle because that would be water stain would be an easy one to put there. Disorderly flyer. I don't know. I still think it's Abby flyer.
No.
Oh, Abby.
What?
Abby.
Would I be stupid to pick blood released, or would it make perfect sense because it'd be so obvious?
The perfect crime, Ben Pack. What? Why was it puppet?
Wait, I saw you hovering over that video. I was so scared.
Yes, it's over.
You were so close.
I was
Why
so
is there a puppet in a dorm?
Here's my like. Listen, if you look at the rest of the locations that I could have chose from,
My classroom could have a puppet.
Right,
A playground could have a puppet.
I was thinking like, okay, art students. They're puppets. They're doing a play. I don't know, man.
It's all right. Should we do?
I think you're within your rights to flip the table.
That's right.
Table.
Wait, if you flip the table, okay. I just gotta make sure I get that reset.
God, I didn't know getting away with murder was easy.
Why? Man.
Look, I'm sorry for accusing everyone but Ben.
Yeah, it was great. Literally, for like 90% of that, every other person was being accused except me.
Yo, Ben was chilling too. Like, I was like, wow, this is the easiest murder that anyone's getting away with in this game. Also,
Oh,
I'm like, damn, this is some bullshit that I got stuck with.
Uh,
Yeah, you
Like,
had
lots
some
of blood,
rough
bleeding out. Like, okay, that's easy, but like, how do I communicate puppet?
what kind of pervert puts a puppet in their dorm?
a murderer.
It's murder,
Um,
Jeff
right?
done them.
Do we want to do another one of these? We've probably got what, like a half hour left. We could do another one of these. We could try. I've got 2 other games we can try if we want. But not everybody has been the forensic scientist. Not everybody's been the murderer. We could do this again. I'm having fun. I'll leave it up to everybody.
That'd be
here.
fun.
I'm having
Yeah, I
fun,
don't know if we have enough time to learn a whole new other game right now.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
I'm
try
down
one
to keep
more,
going.
and then maybe if we have
Okay.
if we have time at the end after this one, we can try it. The other ones are quick, but let's. I'm not going to
other
join.
ones with code names.
No, not code names.
Those
It's
are okay.
Spyfall and Cockroach Poker, which are pretty easy to learn, but they're also pretty quick as well. So if you want to be a forensic scientist, put your name in if you haven't been
I don't
already.
think I've done it yet.
Yeah, so
Is
join
it just
in.
me who hasn't done it?
And Tam. Okay. And then I think it's just Abby. You'll just be it. I don't think it's actually random.
Okay.
So and then hit start game.
I can't. You got to do it as
only
an
me.
admin.
Okay. You know, I was ready because I'm the murderer. Here we go.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna hang out while y'all look at cards.
Yeah, looking at cards.
Let
you,
me know when I should blind people.
Oh, the ice skate again. Remember that?
Huh?
Remember the ice skate? I
Ice-
got the ice skate.
Oh
again.
yeah.
An old favorite.
Rusty nail,
Rusty
tire
nail.
iron. I want dirty water to win.
You always say that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow. This
I
arm with the
knew
tattoo.
Tattoo.
I do not like the Photoshop cutout of this this
The
arm with no
tattoo, yeah,
no
it's
body.
I
bad.
like whoever's hand is on it though, just touching that bicep.
With this
Uh,
tattoo? Yeah,
Ooh,
that's-
Oh, man.
sculpture.
that
There's
is
another
not
one.
right.
Hello.
Ooh, rat.
Cotton.
Is that a rat with a knife? No,
that
that's
looks like
its tail.
marshmallows.
Locked room.
Okay.
Nice sculpture.
Troll. What is a
Oh,
troll?
There goes
It's like
owl.
for planting.
Wow. Oh.
Pants. Those
Wow,
are nice
locked,
pants.
locked room. That is sadistic.
Are we ready to be blinded?
I am ready. I'm gonna get my
Let's
game face
go.
on. Make it
Okay.
not obvious that I'm
I'm
anything.
blinding everyone. Everyone is blinded, yes?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm unblinding the murderer. Okay. Murderer is unblinded. And now I am seeing the cards they are pointing at. I have their murder weapon. I'm writing it down. I almost said it out loud. Okay. And I'm ready for the clue. Okay. I have both. They are written down. I am now blinding the murderer. And now I am unblinding everyone. Okay, is everyone unblinded? Can you see?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Okay. Now I get to do my cards.
Mhm,
So,
Tam,
cause of death.
Tam, you want to do another shout out?
Quick shout, yeah. Yes. We are raising money in aid of Black Lives Matter and also COVID-19 healthcare worker relief efforts, along with direct relief. We've had a few donations, anonymous ones, so thank you for those. Please do head over to those links if you can donate. If you can't, please share and spread the word that we are doing this. You can see a couple links. You'll find them on, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see them there. Just send those about. And also try and educate yourself a bit if you can. There's plenty of resources available that will give you guidance on what to retweet, what to post about. Go to the Black Lives Matter website and you'll find a lot of that there. So please do raise awareness and help us fight social injustice and systemic racism.
And you, GameSpot will be doing this for it's a month. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going until early July, I believe it is, 12th. We're going to have programming every day. You can go onto our website and go to GameSpot.com. You'll see a schedule there right on the front page, so you can see exactly what's coming up. And we'll be here every day until the end of or mid-July. So plenty for you to enjoy, and we're hoping to raise loads of money.
Thank you guys. And in addition to that, there's also, and this is happening. We'll all be in this one together. The E3 stuff, or not E3, will also be happening around the let's call it around the edges of this, around the edges of the charity stuff. There'll be some E3 coverage as well.
For sure. All right. Let's find a murderer.
Okay. So I have put my pieces down. This is for the first round. Cause of death, suffocation. Location of crime, the bedroom. Victim's hobbies, fashion. Type of killer, a sexual deviant. Finally, state of the scene, tidy and untouched. Victim's identity, male. You do the rest.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Ben Pack, take it away.
Very vivid.
Right out the gate, the combination of location of the crime kind of throws this off. But I see suffocation, and really the only thing that is pointing out, belt actually. Ooh, yeah, that throws a wrench in everything. I'm looking at belt. I see sexual deviant. I'm thinking like some weird belt sex stuff. Tidy, untouched. You know, they were in the throes of passion, probably. So everything was like ready for that. They kind of had snacks and stuff ready to go.
Oh shit! I just realized you're talking about me. I was like, let's go.
The victim's hobby being fashion makes me think tattoo could be the clue. And male, that looks like a guy arm. I don't know. That's kind of where it falls apart. But I am leaning right now initially towards belt tattoo.
I was gonna say the same thing. Belt tattoo, like male, like that dude was wilding. He was doing some shit with the belt. So that's, I'm not gonna kink shame. But in this case, it got someone killed, and his partner or their partner was probably into, I don't know, fashion. If it's a designer belt, maybe. That's a thing. Definitely bedroom suffocation. It's easy. This is a slam dunk, bro. Round one take.
Throw it in.
Oh, I'll put my badge.
Yeah. Are you sure? I mean, early in, not everyone's pitch. I mean, do whatever you want.
Oh, sorry. If anyone else want to
do it,
I wanted to.
I was going to say, like, hold on.
No, you're done, son.
I mean, let's not waste that, because suffocation. I'm looking at like a locked room, which is who's this? This guy's Ben. Locked room.
I think you would die of hunger, not suffocation.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Bedroom. I don't know. Maybe bedroom is what's pushing me towards locked room as well. But like, it doesn't necessarily say that suffocation, the death came from, the suffocation didn't happen. The suffocation happened via the room being locked. It could be in there, right?
I don't even have a locked room card. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, like the bedroom here. I'm thinking like suffocation. Fashion, I'm not sure how that would work.
With the tiny little card.
I mean, like cotton is all I can come up with for fashion. It could be someone like works in fashion. If the hobby is fashion, that means could be working with cotton to make stuff.
No, this is, I like this.
Right, we're all in agreement.
I feel like I'm a little lost on the Mind Palace tour. Like I wandered off a little bit.
I mean, I can't. Ben's the only one that it kind of sticks out to me because of the locked room, but I can't think of anything else for like what's got.
Okay.
Malcolm. I'm not sure what an elite.
Okay, this toy car right here, just like the Budweiser one, I think Disney's gonna have a problem with this. So
that's a sexual deviant car if I've ever seen one.
Disney, you're gonna have to take it up with Tabletop Simulator.
No, don't. They're fine. They're fine. Take it up with someone else. Don't get this fine product shut down.
Yeah.
Take it up with Budweiser.
Suffocation. Oh wait. Oh, you're making a vote.
Oh, when we're ready, I'm down to put my badge as tribute.
I'm ready.
Okay, Vinny, do you want to speak first, or are you ready for the?
I want to speak after the badge is thrown.
Okay.
Okay, I'm putting it down. How do I make it bigger? Can I make it big?
Yeah, plus and minus.
Plus, hover over it, hit plus.
Oh, bow.
Look
at that.
Careful.
Big claim.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Wow, I'm just causing all kinds of trouble. I am. Okay, I think it's pretty. This one's pretty easy, and we're all in agreement that it is belt and tattoo. Sorry, Tam.
You've wasted that.
What?
No, that is not true.
Oh!
That is not it.
Oh no.
That's not it. Okay. Okay.
All
At
right.
least we got
So we
that
got-
one out of the way.
Yeah, I'm
We
ready
got
for the
one.
I'm ready for the next round.
Next clue.
I retired.
Okay. Grabbing a tile.
Oh, that's what I was pretty
Okay.
confident there.
I am going to.
What? Don't
Oh
do
shit!
that.
I threw the wrong thing. I threw the bullet back. Okay, hold on. I got it.
Hmm.
Okay. Just a sec. Okay. So this one, evidence left behind. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Don't understand.
Now, you don't
What is it?
understand
It's actually evidence left behide.
Be high.
Well, this is gonna throw the case wide open. There can only be one thing left, Bahide.
Peter, come here, buddy. I'm gonna do.
So this would relate to the clue, right? This is the like a perfect thing to just unlock that clue.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do synthetic.
Synthetic.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yo- yoga
Okay.
mat?
I'll keep it with synthetic.
Okay.
Pants. Who's got pants? Oh, fashion and synthetic.
We got rid of fashion, but sure,
All
do
right,
what
but
you
like
want.
it's still there. Hyam's got pants.
I got
Hyam's got pants.
You don't
I've
know.
got pants, but what's the suffocation here?
Vinny's got.
I wear tight pants. That's my
a
doesn't
beanbag,
necessarily
I guess.
yeah, different kind of suffocation.
You get suffocated. Bedroom suffocation, synthetic. For this person,
Okay.
angled with the pants.
I'm making a guess.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
You're not
right.
going to talk through it or anything? You're just gonna do
No.
it? Okay.
Making a
I like it.
guess. To prove that I'm not the murderer, because why would the murderer make a guess like this without talking through it?
That is not
Right. Airtight. Here we go.
Mhm.
I think it is
Don't
The-
waste. Oh,
the belt and the yoga mat.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are so close, so quick. I
That's
was so
so quick.
excited.
Yes. All right. I'm resetting game.
Wow.
right.
All right. No discussion. No that case.
I mean,
I want to get one
We
more
were close
in.
enough.
I want to get one more in
Okay.
before we're done here. So let's
Oh, I hope
start.
I'm the murderer. So
Start game. I'm gonna hit it.
All right.
Here we go.
Was
So,
synthetic
Tam-
helpful?
For the yoga
that
mat.
pointed me to the yoga mat.
Well, it's sometimes it's interesting. It's the things you don't pick. So like you didn't pick creative or anything. So
like
it was like,
jazz.
oh, that's right. It's the clues you don't pick. All right. So we look through and then.
Oh, I got a gaming card.
Ooh.
What's up, gamers?
Oh no, video game console.
PS4.
Videos
Oh.
kill.
Oh
Wow.
no,
An old PS4.
that's a good one.
Here, buddy.
Oh, a leather
We
strap.
killed him with the fan.
Oh, I hope you're the killer.
Oh, dirty hands! Look at that. There's some guilty, dirty hands.
Oh,
I
you did that?
have.
Oh, it's one of his clues.
Okay.
Everyone good?
Oh.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I'm just looking through. Let's
Mhm.
see.
Mobile phone. The
That's-
first
that's
generation
bad.
iPhone.
That's for gamers too, right?
Is it? Oops.
Oh.
Oh yeah, look at that thing. Old ass phone.
Okay. Interesting.
Starvation. Wow, it just says
throwing stuff.
starvation. Makes it easier.
Right. What if a clue just came up? Starvation.
Suffocation. Yeah.
Starvation and
Severe
food
injury.
ingredients.
Signature.
Um,
What idiot signs the crime scene?
Somebody like one of those like vanity.
Zorro?
criminals.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know if Zorro was the criminal, but yes.
Zorro a murderer?
He puts his Z in. He's definitely killed.
True, true.
Okay. Scullery. All right, everybody ready?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna blind everyone.
Okay.
Is everyone blind?
I can't see.
I'm blind.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see shit.
I'm going to. It's not letting me click on blind murderer. All right, let me try again. Okay. Murderer, pick your murder weapon. Okay, I have the murder weapon. Now, can you pick your clue? Okay. I'm going to unblind everyone. Okay, is everyone good?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now I need to select one of these cards for a location, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Let me just double check.
Oh, you could stack them. Oh, you're
Aw.
New
cute.
game. We found a new better game.
Cute. They're so cute.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Maybe a little smaller.
I have to
Okay.
only assume this is what
Okay.
forensic scientists do while they're waiting for evidence to come
Play with bullets.
Touch everything.
Oh boy.
in. I'll
So I've got
re-enlarge this
one.
one a little bit.
Abby's making a vote, apparently.
Abby's voting.
Well,
Okay,
I'm
so
just
I've got one
touching.
location. Now I'm just grabbing 14 tiles, yeah?
Yeah, you could do
Yeah.
that or grab 4 tiles. It just puts them down. Okay.
What the
Uh-oh.
rude?
Interesting.
Get your hands off my badge, Ben.
Flicking it.
2, 3, 4. You have... Okay.
I feel like we've lost one. Is there... Oh, it's stacked. Nice stack. There's a way to flip it. Is it Alt? F.
Oh no.
There it is. Okay. All right.
Oh, wait, buddy. Okay. Suffocation. Classroom. Work. Weekday. Oh man.
Trace as a
Classroom
scene.
and work.
Teacher.
Oh, I think I see some stuff.
Bodily
Okay.
fluid.
Oh. Well.
Well,
A bruise.
Yes.
bruise,
PS4.
What?
Packing tape.
This is only more
suffocation, and a
confusing.
bruise. Dirty
Mm,
hands. Leather strap.
And the weather was hot.
Okay, there we go. So
Weekday work.
F5 suffocation in a classroom. In progress work. Crime was on a weekday. Trace scene was a bruise. Trace as scene was a bruise.
Tater, no.
And
Tater.
hot.
Hi, Tater.
He's climbing all over computers.
Oh. Tater, you want to meet Sushi?
Tater. He was almost named Sushi when we got him.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Tam, do you want to pick someone to start?
I'm gonna pick Tater. I mean Abby.
I mean, I'll go. I'll be Tater surrogate.
Okay.
Okay. Suffocation. I think the thing that most seems like suffocation, I want to say buried alive. I think suffocation is the best fit for that one. But fucking classroom.
Yeah.
Really throws you for a loop, huh?
Yeah, and like work. Well, work makes me think work to death, suffocate under. I mean, if you're gonna be worked to death, suffocation is probably the best thing, unless you do like illness or disease. Work is a disease after all. So actually, I'm gonna say you're suffocated under your work. You work in a classroom. Weekday, these are all work things. Bruise. I don't fucking know. Hot.
Yeah, wait, how does it leave a bruise if they are worked to death?
Food ingredients. What's anesthetic? What is that?
Anesthetic is like the thing you get for not feeling pain.
Oh, okay, sure. Yes. Well, hot.
With popping pills.
Hot. I mean, hot. Cotton quilt is hot. But what's a weekday? This is not helpful at all. None of these make sense.
A weekday. What happens?
Okay,
on
maybe
a
I shouldn't go
weekday?
first. I
I
mean,
think
right
that
now
work-
I'm leaning towards work, and then I don't know what the other one might be.
I think
Maybe food or hanger for Bruise.
I think
I'm just
I
gonna
got
say, since I'm being
Oh.
accused, Abby
Uh-oh.
has leather strap and clock. I think that you could suffocate someone with a leather strap. It'll lead bruising. There's a clock in the classroom, and if you're working, you're always looking at the clock, wondering when 5 o'clock's gonna roll around.
Michael, what was
That's
your thing?
about all I got.
I was gonna jump off of what Abby was saying, and so work. Look, I want at least one case for work to be the cause of death.
Also, there's so much stuff pointing to work here.
Yeah,
Bruise.
so
look-
I'm gonna
look at Bruise. There's a
listen. I'm gonna get there. I'll get there. All right. So work and anesthetic. Watch. So suffocation, classroom work. It's a teacher on a weekday because after school is stressed out, and it was a hot day because most likely classrooms don't have air conditioners because they probably work at a poor public school, like I went to. And then bruise. So you take the anesthetic. They were like, "Oh my god, I feel so much pain. I'm gonna take all these anesthetics." They
Wait,
OD
why are they feeling pain?
because they're a underpaid teacher, bro.
Okay, it's the opioid crisis, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus.
So you're like, they was just downing the painkillers, and it caused internal bruising. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Like, okay, so there was something happening with their blood on the inside, and they ended up bruising because they took too many of those things, and they suffocated. That's it.
I think that's a
what I got.
way longer walk than leather strap and clock, but follow your heart.
I know we can go with like leather strap and clock first, and then if that doesn't work, then we can
Don't want us to
get
lose
you.
their votes. Wait, where's my badge?
So-
Who moved my badge?
So I'm thinking, okay, there's only one thing throwing me off here. Well, there's actually two things throwing me off. I mean, so there's the shipping container, which could be like somebody at work got caught in a shipping container, like on the dock kind of thing. But the classroom is the tough one. So like maybe the clock was the classroom thing because it looks like a school clock. But then there's
Look,
no.
I'm going to be honest. Ben made a good argument for my leather strap and clock. But my argument against it is if I were playing this game, I would have picked something much more interesting. Because I want to be the
Okay.
murderer so bad, and cutlery seems like a cool weapon, and broom seems fun.
Yeah, but you like winning.
Yeah, it's true. But I don't know. I think it's still work. There's so much stuff pointing to work. I think it has to be work. And then I think all of the weird shit is like pointing to some clue that we're just not really getting. Because also, if you look at like the scene with Bruise, it's like it's all confusing.
But why classroom?
But like, what
Unless
else would be
unless
any
you
of these?
suffocated
Like,
somebody with a leather
Sure,
strap.
if you suffocate someone, there wouldn't be a blood stain. There wouldn't be bodily fluid. There probably wouldn't be a scar.
Yeah,
Which is the
I'm
only
also
reason why I'm
thinking of
like,
what other options are there for that card? So maybe that's like one of the cases in which it's you got to go with like the least
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I
we
or-
can
think
also just wait for the next clue.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to wait.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you. It's this classroom thing that like I can't find a thing to match that. That's well. So I'm ready for next clue.
Okay.
Why is this there?
I'm so convinced it's work though.
It's
killed
gotta
them.
be.
Yeah.
How do I take
Classroom and
one
work.
Just
tile
pick the
out?
square
I think
above
you
it
guys
rather than
just
the bag.
want it to be that.
Just
Yes.
drag from the bag.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Can
Oh,
you
corpse.
Can you grab it
Corpse.
now?
Ooh, I hope the corpse is
Yeah,
twisted.
yeah, I got
Tim?
I just noticed that all these cards are written with are those Chinese characters or
Yeah, it's Hong
kanji?
Kong. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, I need to think about which one I need to get rid of here.
Ben, I don't trust you.
Fine.
Straight
as long
up.
as everyone doesn't waste their guess on me, we'll be okay.
Okay, what are you getting rid
Okay,
of? What did you
Yeah, wait,
cover?
what was the
What
one
did you-
under that?
Work.
Okay, so we must have been wrong with Ben's work thing. I'll admit it.
Oh man.
now
All
I'm
right, I'm back
starting
to buried
now I'm
alive.
starting to suspect
Stiff and
myself.
warm. Stiff and
Wait.
warm.
Relax.
No, I
Oh,
didn't put that
still-
down there.
still
I
and
was,
warm,
I was trying to
okay.
grab it.
Still
Stiff
warm. I
and
thought it was.
warm.
I thought it said stiff and warm. Okay, it's definitely still warm.
Oh yeah, I think that works.
Oh, hey, we crossed the $3,000 mark for
Whoa,
money raised. Thank you,
yeah.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody, for
Fantastic.
donating.
Thank you so much. Remember, you can donate using the tiny URL links below. We're raising money for COVID relief efforts and Black Lives Matter, both important causes to GameSpot team and I imagine Giant Bomb team as well, and our company as a whole. So please donate generously if you can't, to spread the word and try and educate yourself about the issues, the systemic racism and social injustice that Black people face. And do your best.
Okay.
Still Warm, Tam, is what you've picked?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going back to Buried Alive because Still Warm feels very much like this person was buried alive. I don't know. I think that's all indicating like they're alive as the murder's happening, which makes me think Buried Alive. I also think looking at Buried Alive and looking at location of crime, I don't know why he wouldn't have chosen playground. But the rest of them, dormitory, cafeteria, elevator, public toilet, would not fit. A classroom doesn't really fucking either though. Fuck.
Where's classroom on anybody's thing?
None except work.
Maybe signature is like they're practicing cursive.
It's only the clock.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is like classroom could also be like yo-yo kids. Like the classroom could not be the buried alive. It could be the stuff around.
Right. So the clock.
But weekday brews heart.
The brews also throws me off.
The bread? Maybe they're in cooking school. They got bread.
Buried alive.
But the thing is, aside from maybe dirty hands, none of these things are suffocation. Like none of Michael's are suffocation.
Yeah,
elevator shaft.
Very alive.
Elevator shaft could be, but I would have gone severe injury. I think with that. Like that's
elevator shaft.
Team Abby is the murderer, but I think the more I thought about it, she would have chosen something more extravagant. I think that's true.
I love fun, and I wish I was the murderer.
There's also packing tape.
I robbed Abby of her being a murderer.
I think it's Buried Alive, and I'm 50-50 on
okay.
signature and yo-yo, and I'm about to pull the trigger on signature because I'm thinking kids in the bruise though. Maybe yo-yo.
That's
maybe
why I
they
think
hit
yo-yo is bruised. It's like kid, you get hit.
Yeah.
I think it's yo-yo and Buried Alive.
Are you actually?
Do you want me to? I can do it. Yeah, I can do it.
Wait,
hold on. Before you do this, I just want to say Matt Hocking has donated $10 and said, "If I die, please let Abby investigate my murder."
Well,
done.
Well, wait for this one to throw in first.
Although, we'll see if I get this one. Okay, I'm throwing it in.
So you're going, You're going for what?
Buried Alive, yo-yo.
No.
Telling ya. I think it's this. I don't know what the classroom is though.
All right, we get one more clue, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we should wait for the other clue.
All right, yeah, I'll take this last clue.
Yes, I think. But wait, before we
Casey Malone as well, who donated $50 and said Abby did it. I don't know when that happened, but.
All right. Wait, I want to talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
So I think the classroom thing is definitely the thing that's throwing me off from anybody else's.
Yeah.
And I only see, if I were doing it, I would say it could be broom or clock, because I don't see any murder weapons that would be classroom, except like the No, we would have a video game in the classroom. Michael doesn't really have anything.
I forgot that I was a potential suspect.
Oh, where have you now?
Yeah.
I feel like Dirty Hands is the closest of like a strangulation thing.
Well, packing tape is.
Whoa.
Quilting is hot.
Kids do have dirty hands, like in a classroom.
That's true, but like
not me.
But that's like the murder weapon, you know.
I am definitely one more for the clue. Another clue before I throw.
So okay, hold on. I have another pitch. Before we move on. That maybe could be Michael. Classroom is still a little like I don't know, but like Dirty Hands and the quilt. You could suffocate someone using a quilt with dirty hands, and it would be hot.
I feel like you would have picked public toilet for dirty hands.
Oh, that's true.
Very topical, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Good points.
The classroom's really throwing us off,
but also,
which is why I think it's yo-yo.
But also, the still warm could go towards Abby's quilt thing. Like maybe the quilt was very cozy. It was a very cozy.
I know that's.
Okay,
I know that's why I think it's like quilt.
All right, I want another clue.
Yeah.
Inspired by. Damn, what? I just want to say the clues I've had to the things that were picked are awful.
They are utter shite.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait, are
I
they?
know.
Are they?
What happened?
Nothing. It's just if you know they're bad. What else do you know?
Oh, what? No, what? That means
Wait a
nothing.
minute. Everyone in this element.
Dirty hands and quilts. It feels like a fucking quilt thing.
Michael
We're gonna watch
Hyam.
stuff
Wait,
like
what did I
that.
do? What did I say? I have no idea.
You did an innocent impression of me, and it's been misconstrued in an interesting. Or is it construed? Who knows?
Mhm.
Who knows?
Wait.
Okay, well, let's see
is
the next
going
clue.
Okay,
I'm
hold
ready
on,
for
hold on,
it.
hold on, hold on, hold
Oh man.
on. Murder inspired by. What do you mean inspired? Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of.
Wow, none is a
Hot,
choice. That
okay.
is very helpful if you pick none.
God, this is difficult.
Oh man.
Passion.
I want to hold on.
Passion.
Okay, no, not passion.
Yours up on none.
No.
Okay, well, we got rid of hot, which is still a clue.
Okay. Right. It doesn't mean that it invalidates it. It means that it is maybe just not as important.
That maybe we were just like thrown off.
So wait, none? All right, so let's
Maybe
see
it is
what
back
was
to
it.
signature and buried alive.
So it wasn't inspired by television. It wasn't inspired by copycat. Passion. I feel like
Suffocation.
I'm
classroom
50-50
storm.
between Very Alive Signature and Dirty Hands.
Quilt.
Yes,
I think it's quilt. Like I
But
feel
then,
like the hot
also
is maybe
just
like
the
a
most
hey, move away
obvious
from that.
one.
But
What's it called? Murphy's Law? The
yes,
obvious answer is
you
probably
Right.
the right one.
You're thinking of Occam's
my
razor,
thing
but
with suffocation though
Murphy's
is
Law.
like
still, like,
dirty
Abby
hands.
has
If
done
somebody
a lot of deflecting, and this leather strap is still sitting
it's
there.
not me. Okay, but let me just make a pitch about dirty hands really quick. So with dirty hands,
Occam's razor.
what other of these death things would work with that? I guess maybe severe injury, but like,
Oh,
or
you're
maybe
accusing me.
illness or disease, or maybe accident. Okay, I guess there are other options that are maybe better than suffocation for dirty hands. Never mind. Carry on, Ben. Go and accuse me. You're wrong, but do it. Keep in mind, I lost my
What-
badge.
So wait, Ben, what do
Nothing here has gotten me off of the scent of leather strap clock. I'm just saying, like, none of these new clues have pointed me away from that. Inspired by none doesn't really help.
I'm trying to metagame Abby. Like last time when she was not the murderer, she really wasn't.
I know, it's not me.
Maybe
Okay,
this
what
is
I will
just
say is
fantastic
Michael hasn't said
acting.
shit
Yeah.
in a while.
Yeah,
We've been
because-
debating back and forth, and
It
Michael's just sitting
sucks.
there with his dirty hands and his cotton quilt and his fucking baguette saying nothing.
All right.
Abby also
Oh.
was quick to vote, which is a sus from me.
Wait,
I
hold on.
kind of think I could go in on the. I could.
What if it's dirty hands and baguette? Baguettes are
Did
hot.
I-
Baguettes you have during the weekday. Baguettes you eat in the classroom.
Baguettes you have during the weekday.
That's true. I do
You
like
can
a
brew
baguette
someone
during
with a
the week.
baguette.
Hmm.
Brews
I
also
didn't
might work
vote,
with
right?
dirty hands.
Did I?
You
don't
haven't
think I've
voted.
used my
I
badge.
think I'm the
Okay.
only one who voted, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But this is
I
it.
can't
keep track
This is
of
the
which
last
game.
round.
I have to follow my gut. I'm
Is it the
voting.
last round? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am voting.
Wow!
Whoa!
Whoa! Look at
And
you with the
I
big
I think it's
vote
Michael.
for
Big man.
leather strap clock.
Stupid! No!
That is incorrect.
Ah!
Oh no.
Vinny, it's you or
okay.
Michael. I think it's Vinny. Vinny. Okay,
Ah.
the fact that you're voting next, probably a good sign for us.
I.
Dirty hands, baguette. Dirty hands, baguette.
I feel like Ben, if it were Abby, that would have been it. Like
Yeah.
that was what I was on for the at least for the classroom thing.
Okay, let me make another pitch for dirty hands, baguette.
Okay.
No.
Dirty hands could be brews.
Okay.
Dirty hands could be classroom for sure. Murder not inspired by anything.
I think
And then
Abby was right. I think
baguette,
it's Buried
I
Alive.
think you'd stuff it in the mouth. Maybe it's buried alive in signature, but what I'm saying is Vinny has got to vote for this for Michael, and then Michael's got to vote for Vinny. So it's either one of them, right?
It's true.
Or it
it's
could be
true.
you, Ben. I don't know. Maybe
Well,
it's fucking Ben, but I don't think it's Ben based on his shit.
Yeah, I don't find anything on
I-
Buzz either.
I think it's based on Classroom, maybe Signature, but
Michael, you vote. You
Yeah,
go
maybe it's
first.
Signature. Maybe it's Buried Alive in Signature.
You go first, and then
boy.
so we rule it out.
Oh wait, no, don't go first because then maybe
Oh,
Vinny's
oh,
the
oh.
murderer.
Wait, what?
What if
No.
Michael's the murderer?
Okay,
No,
okay,
I'm
Michael's
not
the
the
murderer.
murderer. Listen, I'm
Okay.
just gonna say this: like, if y'all vote for me, it's gonna be wrong. It's gonna be a wasted vote. So that's my case.
Okay.
Okay, I
Just
think
straight
it's
up.
Michael, and I think
Okay.
it's Baguette and Dirty Hands.
I'm telling you. Back in the wait, who is? Okay, so Abby, you already used your vote.
Yeah,
previously,
Abby and
right?
Ben
I'm
used it.
sitting out.
So is someone gonna take her up on that investigation?
It's only you two.
It's just
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna vote for me. So and also I'm not the killer. So
Well, if you vote for Vinny, will you vote for Buried Alive and Signature? I guess you can choose whatever you want, but
That's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna Abby's does not miss, or will
well, I've
sometimes,
been
but
a
like
few times.
she hits a lot more than she misses. So I'm gonna go without any further reason. I'm gonna go with Bury Alive and Signature.
No.
I told you. I told you.
I know it's. I know,
Hate to
Vinny,
see
you're
it.
the one left.
Yeah, hate
Ah.
to see it.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
it's fucking Michael.
I
Whoa,
vote.
is it
I
time
vote.
to-
I vote for Dirty Hands and Quelt.
No.
Of course it wasn't. It's because it was me. It was me. Why?
What was it?
It was
It was
ladder.
Vinny.
Wait, it was ladder. Why is
It was
ladder?
ladder.
Why is it ladder? Why'd you pick?
Why? Just ladder suffocation.
Damn! Look, there was no other option.
Yeah.
That was the only one.
Injury was another option.
Severe
Was
injury.
like, how do you get my mind? You get more. You can. My mind can get suffocation from ladder by placing someone on the ladder on the neck, or close the ladder on someone.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
See, here's the story. Here's the story I had. It was the janitor in a classroom. He was at work trying to fix an air conditioner on a hot day. There was a kid.
God,
There
why
was
have we never gotten that? The clues are supposed to be for the weapon and the clue.
Keep flipping the table. Just keep flipping the table. Man.
As soon as Vinny picked those two cards, I was like, I'm screwed. There's nothing I can do here.
It's the same thing with Ben.
How do you do a ladder
Oh
and
my
a
gosh.
yo-yo in a
Severe
coherent way?
injury. He fell off. The person fell off. Or
bashing with
accident.
it.
Accident.
So many other options.
Accident was one of the choices.
Yes.
Wow.
How do you make yo-yo work with that? How do you make yo-yo work with that?
You did Classroom. We got
Oh, that-
yo-yo. Yo-yo wasn't the issue. Ladder was.
All right. Listen. It was
Okay.
it was the perfect crime. All right. I think that's gonna do it. We've broken the game
Hey,
completely.
listen. Hey. I wanted it to be an entertaining end, and I think we got an entertaining end there.
That's right. That's right. We have played Tabletop Simulator. Tam and Michael, thank you so much for inviting us onto the stream. Why don't you do
Yes.
one more shout out here and tell people where they can go and what they can expect for the rest of the week and catch everything.
For sure. GameSpot is doing Play for All for the rest of the month and into July. We are raising money for Black Lives Matter and for COVID relief. You'll see on the screen 2 links that you can follow to get your donations in if you can. If you can't, please share the links and spread the word that we're trying to do this. We're putting our best effort into empowering the people who are fighting social injustice and systemic racism. I think it might be tricky right now to try and play games and enjoy it, but we're hoping that by doing that on a platform where we can push people towards those issues, we can make that easier for you, and hopefully we can benefit people who are facing these issues on a daily basis.
Yeah, and if I could say a few things as well, is that we really appreciate everyone giving us the time and attention as we do these streams, and we really appreciate the donations to help those in need, whether it's for Black Lives Matter or COVID-19. But in the case of Black Lives Matter, I think it's really important that we understand why we're pushing for this, because we can't have all lives matter until Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter is a organized movement that we can get behind. And I think that, Tamora and I, we spoke this morning to kick off the stream, and I think it's important to recognize who we are and what we can do beyond donations, because this is not a thing where we donate and the problem is solved. We keep fighting this problem, all right? So Tamora and we're non-Black people of color, and I think it's really important that we take it into our communities, that we keep communicating this, and that we fight alongside Black voices and Black people, and that we listen to them. We listen to them and we fight with them. And I think that's important for everyone to recognize. I will go back to my Asian American friends and let them know, like, this is our fight too. We need to fight this as well. And I think that white people need to do the same in communicating that as well. Everyone can do the same, and communicating why this is a problem and how we can perpetuate a better world for everyone else, and especially Black people who are facing the brunt of the injustices and the police brutality that we're seeing around the world. So I thank you all for donations and joining the cause, and keep fighting, keep going, keep educating.
Yep, I think that's right.
Thank you guys so much. And if you want to see a schedule of all the streaming that's going on, they can go to GameSpot.com and go check that out. You'll be streaming to Twitch. If you're watching this on the Giant Bomb channel, you can get stuff over at twitch.tv/GameSpot. Yeah?
Yep, that's correct.
And
on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook as well. To stream pretty much everywhere.
Thanks everybody for watching and donating. Like has been said here, a lot of people trying for a lot of good causes to raise money. A lot of people suffering out there, not only within our communities all over the world, especially with the COVID stuff, just compounding the fractures that are already there within our society and our government and everything else out there. So if you're at home, hope you're staying safe. And I hope everybody is doing well. And if you could donate. Thank you, Tamor. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Ben. I'm going to hand this off back to whatever happens after this, after I fade this, after I fade this down on Giant Bomb. If you're on giantbomb.com, stick around. It will not be the Play for All stuff right now. I don't know what's next on the schedule. Ben or Abby, do you know what is next? I do not know. We went over it this morning, and that feels like a million years ago.
The top
is
banner
gonna be
says
playing
the
for
worst
Bloodborne.
DJ set, and then Bloodborne later.
Okay. And tomorrow, Michael, what is up next for GameSpot?
That's our scheduling for today. We're going to be continuing to publish stuff on the website, news stories, editorials, that kind of stuff, and everything we're doing from now until the end of the Play for All campaign is focused on that. We just published our interview with Tim Sweeney and Kim Libreri of Epic Games. So if you missed that, it's available on YouTube and on site now. So it's worth checking that out. Yeah.
And I want to thank everybody who came in. Again, Abby, Ben, Michael, Tamor, for letting me have a fun time during some very serious times. I think it was it was good to have a bit of a laugh with some friends. And again, thanks everybody for donating. I'm going to fade it to black. Everybody good?
Yup.
Okay,
Peace.
here we go. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.